Welcome to this course. An IT professional plays a pivotal role in the realm of cybersecurity and privacy, serving as the first line of defense in safeguarding an organization's digital assets. Their responsibilities extend beyond basic technical support to encompass the implementation and maintenance of robust security measures. From understanding key cybersecurity concepts to advanced password management and privacy measures in diverse computing environments, this course will help you maintain the integrity and confidentiality of an organization's digital infrastructure. This course is crafted by experts in the field, combining their subject matter expertise and industry experience. It provides you with both theoretical understanding and practical skills, along with the ability to solve real-world problems. These are essential for thriving in an entry-level IT position. Now, let's explore the content to make sure you're ready to start the course. You will be introduced to the following concepts: advanced password management and privacy measures, important cybersecurity concepts, and different computing environments. To start, you will learn about the basics of digital security and privacy. For example, how to create robust passwords and how to use advanced password management and storage tools. Following this, you will learn about essential cybersecurity concepts like network traffic, VPNs, and server communication. And you will gain insight into the technological foundations of cybersecurity by securing digital communication and optimizing network performance. A considerable part of a career in IT involves deep knowledge of different computing environments. To help you attain this knowledge, you will learn about managing on-premises computing, navigating cloud services, and ensuring secure server communication. This section of the course will ensure that you have the necessary knowledge and skills to make decisions and implement solutions in diverse IT environments. The course ends with a final project and assessment. The project entails applying your newly acquired cybersecurity knowledge to integrate various aspects of cybersecurity into a coherent, actionable plan. In doing so, you will demonstrate your ability to come up with and implement effective security strategies to address technical and organizational aspects of cybersecurity. Everything you need to complete the project and assessment will be covered during the course, with each lesson made up of video content, readings, and quizzes. The course is part of your preparation for the MS 900 Microsoft 365 Fundamentals exam. Taking the MS 900 exam will set you up for a career as an IT professional. The great thing is you don't need a background in IT-related fields to take this course. It is for anyone who has an affinity for technology and an interest in IT support. In summary, this course provides you with a complete introduction to cybersecurity and privacy and prepares you for the MS 900 exam. And now that you've reached the end of this course introduction, it's time to start your learning journey. Our digital lives are full of sensitive and sometimes confidential personal data that has to be safeguarded. You probably know that the humble password, a simple string of characters, often serves as the first line of defense against unauthorized access. The strength of a password can mean the difference between secure data and a breached system. It's not just about protecting a single account. It's about safeguarding digital identities, personal information, and the confidential data of the organizations you serve. To illustrate the importance of a robust password, let's examine its most vital attributes: length, complexity, and unpredictability. At the core of a strong password is its length. The longer a password, the more combinations a hacker has to try, exponentially increasing the difficulty of a brute force attack. Such an attack entails an attacker submitting lots of passwords in the hope of eventually guessing a password correctly. A minimum of 12 characters is recommended, but going beyond 16 characters provides even greater security. Complexity is another crucial element. A mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols creates a vast array of possibilities. This means it takes longer for attackers to guess a password, and they might give up altogether if it takes too long. However, complexity doesn't just mean a random string of characters. Unpredictability is crucial too. This means common words, phrases, or personal information that can be easily guessed or found on social media profiles should be avoided. Instead, individuals should opt for a password that's unexpected and challenging to predict. For example, consider a sequence of words or a sentence that is meaningful to the person but would be random to someone else. This is called a passphrase, and it balances memorability and complexity. A concept connected to unpredictability is password entropy, which measures the randomness and unpredictability of a password. Higher entropy means a password is more random and therefore more secure. In other words, it's a concept that quantifies the degree of uncertainty in a password's composition. Combining uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols can significantly increase a password's entropy, making it more resilient against attacks. Creating strong passwords is crucial, but so is periodically changing them. Regularly updating passwords provides an additional layer of security, especially for sensitive accounts. As digital security evolves, so do the methods hackers use to crack passwords. Let's explore a brief overview of two techniques when it comes to password hacking. A dictionary attack is when hackers test common words or phrases against passwords. By doing so, they leverage the tendency of people to choose simple, memorable passwords. Attackers also use rainbow tables, which are large databases that contain pre-computed hash values for a wide range of possible passwords. A hash value is the result of encrypting a password using a mathematical formula, which converts it into a unique and secure string of characters. By comparing the hash value of an encrypted password with the entries in a rainbow table, hackers can potentially identify the original password without having to guess it through trial and error. This method can be effective in cracking passwords if the hash values are not sufficiently complex or protected. These sophisticated techniques exploit simple or commonly used passwords, and that's why individuals need to use strong, complex passwords that resist such attacks. Understanding these terms helps you fortify digital defenses against hackers. Armed with the essentials of strong passwords and knowledge of what hackers look for and how they operate, you are now empowered to protect digital identities and contribute to the security of the organization where you work. Alex, a dedicated marketing team member, prides herself on her efficiency and organization. To streamline her login process across various platforms, Alex uses the same password for everything from her work email to her social media accounts. This practice, seemingly harmless in the pursuit of simplicity, became a critical vulnerability when one of her lesser secure accounts was compromised. Hackers could use this one password to access Alex's other accounts, leading to a breach of both personal and company information. This video illustrates the domino effect that can occur when the same password is reused across multiple accounts and why having unique passwords for different accounts is crucial. The convenience of memorizing a single password for all accounts is undeniable. However, this practice exposes us to significant risks. When you use the same password for multiple accounts, you're essentially using the same key for different locks. A hacker can unlock all the doors if they get this key. This is what happened to Alex. When one of her accounts was breached, the hacker tried the same password on her other accounts and could gain access. This is known as the domino effect of password reuse. It's a common exploit among hackers and can lead to multiple account breaches. Password reuse effectively multiplies the impact of a single data breach. Instead of compromising just one account, hackers can potentially access a wide array of the victim's personal and professional data. In Alex's case, this can lead to identity theft, financial loss, and a breach of confidential company information. Moreover, if attackers gain access to email accounts, they can reset passwords for other services, further expanding their reach. Here are some key security risks involved with password reuse. Using the same password for more than one account creates a single point of failure. This means if one account is compromised, all accounts are at risk. Hackers often use a technique called credential stuffing. This is when they use breached username and password pairs on other websites, banking on the fact that people often reuse passwords. Once a hacker gains access to one account, they can often access sensitive information that can be used for identity theft or financial fraud. The damage can accelerate rapidly, especially if an email account is compromised, potentially providing the hacker with password reset capabilities for other sites. If you're reusing passwords across work and personal accounts like Alex, a breach in a less secure personal account could lead to a breach in a more sensitive work account. This could lead to a significant loss of confidentiality and could have serious professional consequences. If the same password is used across multiple accounts and one account is breached, changing the password on all accounts can be time-consuming. This delay can provide hackers with a window of opportunity to breach other accounts. Breached passwords often end up on lists of compromised credentials circulating on the dark web. If someone is reusing passwords, a password breached years ago could potentially be used to access a different account today. The key to avoiding the pitfalls of password reuse is to create unique passwords for each account. Here are some tips. First, users should use a password manager. These tools store and encrypt all passwords. This means a user is only required to remember one strong master password. Second, create a system for generating passwords, such as modifying a base password according to the service name. For example, if an individual uses Outlook, they may want to add the word Outlook using numbers and symbols to the start of the password. Third, individuals can use passphrases made up of multiple words, which are easier to remember and harder for attackers to crack. Fourth, users can take advantage of two-factor authentication, which adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification. Alex's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of password reuse. It underscores the need for heightened password hygiene. In other words, the practice of maintaining strong, unique passwords for each account. By adopting secure password practices, users can protect themselves from the domino effect of a single compromised account. Everyone should prioritize digital security by embracing strategies that safeguard their personal and professional life from cyber threats. Remember, in the realm of digital security, convenience should never come at the cost of safety. Many of us regularly use online banking. While logging into the online banking portal, a user needs to enter their username and password, credentials they probably have memorized. This is called single-factor authentication, a security process in which the user provides only one form of identification, typically a password or PIN, to gain access to a system or service. However, most online banking services now have an additional step before an individual can access their account, a prompt to enter a unique code sent to their smartphone. This additional step is called Multi-Factor Authentication, or MFA. It is a robust security measure that lowers the risk of unauthorized access to online accounts. In this video, you will learn about the details of multi-factor authentication, how it works, and its advantages and disadvantages. So what exactly is MFA? Think of it as having two different passwords to log into an account. The first password is the one an individual usually enters, something only they know. The second password is the code sent to their phone, something they have in their possession. MFA adds an extra layer of security by requiring two or more distinct verification factors to confirm an individual's identity. Even if someone can guess the first password, they can't access an individual's information without the second code. This is especially important for accounts containing sensitive information like email or bank accounts or social media profiles. Single-factor authentication, no MFA, is like having a single lock and key to your front door. If someone copies your key, they can easily enter your house. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, is like having a lock with two keys. Even if someone steals one key, they still need the other to unlock the door, making it much more secure. MFA uses different authentication factors to verify an individual's identity. First is knowledge, something an individual knows, such as their password or a PIN. Second is possession, something an individual has, like their phone or a security token. And third is inherence, something an individual is, such as their fingerprint or facial recognition. Combining factors from different categories strengthens the security posture. For example, A combination of a password, knowledge, and a one-time code sent to an individual's phone, possession, is more secure than just a password alone. Let's now explore standard MFA methods, such as SMS codes, authenticator apps, and biometric verification. Sending a one-time code via SMS is a popular MFA method. However, it's susceptible to interception through SIM swapping or network interception. Apps like Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator generate time-based, one-time passcodes. They're more secure than SMS codes, as they're not transmitted over the network and are unique to the device. Biometric methods like facial recognition, fingerprints, and iris scans provide a high security level using unique personal attributes. While highly secure, they require specialized hardware and can raise privacy concerns. So how do MFA applications work? Popular MFA apps like Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator use time-based one-time password or TOTP technology. Here's a simplified breakdown. During initial setup, a unique secret key, often a string of seemingly random letters and numbers, is generated and shared securely between the app and the online service an individual is trying to access. This entire secret key is never stored on a device and remains confidential. However, a small part of the secret key, called a seeding key, is stored on the device and used for next steps. The app uses the current time and the seeding key to generate a unique one-time code that changes periodically. Then, when the individual attempts to log in, the app displays the current code, and they enter it along with their password on the login page. Finally, the online service takes the code and uses the secret key stored on its server, along with the current time, to create its own one-time code. If the code matches the server-generated code, the login is verified. While MFA offers significant benefits, there are some potential drawbacks to consider. Multiple authentication factors may be inconvenient. Some users might not have access to smartphones or other devices required for specific MFA methods, and losing a phone or authentication token can lead to temporary access issues requiring recovery procedures. However, the security benefits of MFA far outweigh these potential downsides. MFA is a critical security measure for protecting online accounts. By enabling MFA wherever possible, an additional layer of defense is added against unauthorized access and safeguards sensitive information online. Remember, security is a shared responsibility. Strong authentication practices like MFA are essential for protecting individuals and organizations. Beyond the internet we use daily, there is a vast and largely unseen deep web and the enigmatic dark web. These hidden layers of the internet have significant implications for privacy and security. In their obscure depths, the boundaries of online anonymity and legality blur, presenting varying levels of risks and protections for users worldwide. Before venturing into the unknown, it's essential to understand the familiar territory of the surface web. Also known as the visible web or the World Wide Web, it includes the readily accessible portion of the internet indexed by standard search engines like Bing and Google Chrome. This layer is the digital world most users encounter daily, offering access to a wealth of information from news and entertainment to social media and online shopping platforms. Search engines rely on automated programs called web crawlers to traverse the internet, discovering and indexing publicly available web pages. These crawlers follow hyperlinks and links connecting websites to discover new content and add it to their search engine's database. However, websites can employ various techniques to prevent crawlers from accessing their content. Let's examine a few of these now. Websites can create a robot.txt file instructing web crawlers not to index specific pages or directories for the public. Many websites require users to log in before accessing content. Since crawlers cannot authenticate, they cannot access the information behind these logins. And some websites generate content on the fly based on user input, making it difficult for static search engines to access this information. Next, the deep web refers to the part of the internet not indexed by standard search engines. It includes legitimate, password-protected content like medical records, financial data, and academic databases. Unlike the readily accessible surface web, the deep web contains information that is deliberately excluded from reach. Deep web content can be accessed with traditional web browsers, but not traditional search engines. Consequently, the deep web encompasses diverse content that could be legal or illegal, including private data, including personal information like medical records, financial data, and legal documents stored on secure servers. Paywalled content like academic databases, subscription-based news websites, and exclusive online forums that often required paid memberships or subscriptions. This makes them inaccessible to standard search engines. While public profiles might be indexed, private profiles on social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram are part of the deep web. And sometimes, data files containing sensitive personal information or company information can be found on the deep web. Last is the dark web, which is mostly associated with criminal activities. It is a small subset of the deep web. Unlike the vast and diverse deep web, the dark web comprises a collection of websites deliberately hidden from standard search engines, and it's only accessible through specialized software. While the anonymity of the dark web can serve legitimate purposes, like protecting journalists or whistleblowers, it has unfortunately facilitated the proliferation of illegal activities on the dark web, including hidden black marketplaces that act as platforms for selling illegal goods and services. And the dark web provides a haven for cybercriminals to engage in activities like malware distribution, hacking tool sales, and stolen identity trading. Furthermore, the anonymous nature of the dark web allows for the proliferation of harmful content, including hate speech and violent extremism. And when a company's database is breached, the stolen data often ends up on the dark web. This could include sensitive information such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, and login credentials. Luckily, modern browsers and security tools also offer protection by incorporating features that warn users if their login credentials have been compromised in known data breaches. To stay safe, individuals should practice safe online habits, like utilizing strong, unique passwords for every online account and changing them regularly, enabling two-factor authentication wherever available, being cautious with clicking on suspicious links or downloading unknown attachments, and consider using reputable dark web monitoring services that can scan for exposed personal information. The distinction between the deep and dark web and their implications for privacy and security is a critical piece of knowledge in the digital age. Understanding these hidden parts of the internet is not just about satisfying curiosity, but about protecting individuals and organizations. With the right knowledge and tools, people can navigate the web more safely. Operating systems, the core software powering our devices, often routinely collect data. This data collection may raise privacy and security concerns for users. While some data collection is essential, understanding privacy settings empowers users to control what information is shared and what is not. This video will equip you to support users by explaining privacy settings in popular operating systems. You'll explore how operating systems handle data, the importance of privacy settings, and how to navigate these settings effectively. By the end of the video, you will be in a good position to guide users to control their information sharing and enhance their privacy. Operating systems collect various data points to personalize the user's experience, improve functionality, and offer targeted services. They collect and process a lot of information about users, such as location, contacts, application usage, and more. Some of this information is necessary for the proper functioning of the operating system and the applications we use. However, some of it may be shared with third parties without our consent or knowledge. This can pose risks to personal privacy and security, as well as online identity and reputation. Let's now examine the risks of data sharing. First is unauthorized access. Inadvertently sharing data with unauthorized individuals or parties can lead to identity theft, phishing attacks, and targeted advertising. The second is data misuse. Companies or applications may misuse users' data for purposes beyond their intended functionality. And third is loss of control. Uncontrolled data sharing can make it difficult for a user to manage their online footprint and reputation. Managing privacy settings is a crucial step in protecting personal information and ensuring online security. The next part of the video provides a guide to accessing and modifying privacy settings in 2 different operating systems. Note that while the specific terminology and menu layouts may vary slightly, most operating systems offer dedicated sections for managing privacy settings. Here's a general overview of accessing and modifying these settings. Let's turn our attention to privacy settings in Windows. The first thing you have to do is select the Windows Start menu and then select Settings. Then choose Privacy and Security from the list of options. Selecting this option presents you with various subcategories like Windows Permissions, Diagnostics and Feedback, and Search Permissions. There's also an App Permissions section which has other settings like Location, Camera, Microphone, and so on. Within each subcategory, you can review and adjust settings for individual applications or system features. Now let's examine privacy settings in Mac OS. To access them, you have to select the Apple menu in the top left corner of the screen. Select System Preferences, and then Privacy and Security. This section offers many options for managing your personal data and privacy. Each option provides choices for controlling location services and microphone and camera access. There are also options for app permissions and data sharing preferences. When it comes to privacy settings, there are certain key areas that users should pay attention to. These play a vital role in protecting data. For example, there are location services. These determine whether applications can access your device's location information. Users can choose to allow location access for specific apps, deny access altogether, or allow access only when the app is in use for more precise control. Next, there are camera and microphone access. Users can grant or deny permission for apps to use their camera and microphone. As a rule, users should only provide access to applications that genuinely require these features. Under Application Permissions, users can review and manage permissions granted to individual applications. This may include access to contacts, photos, files, and other sensitive information. Users should be careful about granting unnecessary permissions and should revoke them if they are no longer required. Lastly, there are data sharing preferences. Many operating systems allow users to control how much data is shared with the operating system vendor or third-party applications. They can choose to limit data collection for personalized experiences, advertising, or diagnostics. While maximizing privacy is ideal, it's important to understand that certain settings might impact functionality. For example, disabling location services in a ride-hailing app will render the service unusable. The key lies in finding a balance between protecting privacy and maintaining essential functionalities. Users should carefully weigh the risks and benefits before making adjustments and prioritize privacy settings for sensitive information or applications. Here are some additional tips for effectively managing your privacy settings. As users install new applications or their needs change, they should revisit privacy settings and make necessary adjustments. Individuals should read app privacy policies before installation and only grant permissions essential for their operations. Users should consider using encryption tools to protect sensitive information stored on their devices. And lastly, individuals should keep updated on evolving privacy threats and best practices through reliable sources. By managing privacy settings and being careful with data sharing, users can confidently and securely navigate the digital world. Striking the right balance allows them to enjoy the benefits of technology while still protecting their personal information. As an IT professional, you will frequently encounter questions and concerns related to emerging technologies. Biometrics, using unique physical or behavioral characteristics for identification and authentication, is a growing trend that may spark curiosity but also apprehension. While biometrics offer undeniable convenience and benefits, they also pose risks. It's essential to understand the security and privacy risks associated with biometrics to provide proper support. This video will guide you through the concept of biometrics, its benefits, security risks, and privacy concerns. Let's start with exactly what biometrics is. Biometric data refers to any biological or behavioral characteristic that can identify a specific individual. Examples include fingerprints, facial recognition, iris scans, voice patterns, and gait analysis. These unique identifiers are collected and converted into digital templates stored in databases for identification purposes. Biometric data offers several advantages over traditional authentication methods, such as passwords, PINs, or tokens. Let's examine 3 of these benefits. First is security. Biometric data is unique to each individual and cannot be easily guessed, stolen, or forged. Unlike passwords, biometric data cannot be forgotten, lost, or shared with others. This reduces the risk of identity theft, fraud, or unauthorized access. The second is convenience. Biometric data is easy to use and does not require customers to remember or enter complex passwords or codes. Customers can simply scan their fingerprints, face, or iris to unlock their devices or access their accounts. This saves time and hassle for customers and improves customer satisfaction. Third is accuracy. Biometric data is more accurate and reliable than other forms of authentication, as it is based on the physical or behavioral traits of the customer. Biometric data can also verify the customer's identity in real time, such as during online transactions, video calls, or remote work. While the benefits of biometrics are undeniable, there are also significant privacy concerns. Unlike passwords, which can be changed if compromised, biometric data is inherent and cannot be easily altered. This immutability poses a significant risk if the data falls into the wrong hands. Potential risks associated with biometric data breaches include, for example, identity theft. Compromised biometric data could be used for impersonation, facilitating access to financial accounts, medical records, or other sensitive information. There is also the problem of targeted surveillance. Unrestricted collection and use of biometric data by different organizations could lead to pervasive surveillance and potential misuse. Lastly, biometric data can reveal sensitive information about individuals, raising concerns about profiling and discriminatory practices. As an IT professional, you should be prepared to address these risks and concerns and provide users with the best possible solutions and guidance. Some ways you can do this are to educate, empower, and support individuals. For example, you can tell them about the pros and cons of biometric data and how your company handles and safeguards it. Clarify the terms and conditions, privacy policies, and consent forms about biometric products or services. You can also respond to any questions or doubts with clear and honest information. You can let them choose and manage their biometric data and its use. Enable them to access, correct, delete, or withdraw it anytime. Offer them other authentication methods, such as passwords or PINs, if they prefer or request them. You can also offer support by assisting them in case of any issues or problems with their biometric data or authentication. Help them to reset, update, or recover it if needed. And report or resolve any incidents or breaches and notify them of the actions taken. In the face of potential risks, you should always help users to be proactive in safeguarding their biometric data. Here are some practical steps you can tell them to follow. They should aim to understand how their biometric data is being collected, used, and stored by different entities. In other words, they should ask questions and seek clarification before consenting to any biometric data collection. Users should be empowered to opt out of unnecessary biometric data collection whenever possible. If they are uncomfortable with using biometrics, encourage them to choose alternative authentication methods if they are available. Users should regularly review and adjust privacy settings on devices and services that utilize biometric data. They should limit data sharing and storage to the minimum necessary. Individuals should also be cautious about sharing their biometric data with unknown entities. They should be mindful of potential scams or phishing attempts seeking their biometric information. Finally, users should familiarize themselves with a region's existing and evolving data privacy regulations. These regulations often outline individuals' rights regarding biometric data collection and usage. To summarize, biometric data is a valuable and convenient form of authentication that offers security and accuracy. However, biometric data also poses privacy and vulnerability risks that can lead to breach and misuse. As an IT professional, you should help users understand and protect their biometric data and provide the best possible service and experience. As an IT professional, you will often deal with user logins and credentials. This is where Credential Manager for Windows, Keychain for Mac OS, and Keyring for Linux come in handy. These built-in tools or applications securely store various types of credentials, such as passwords, certificates, and keys for different services and applications. It is important to note that Credential Manager, Keychain, and Keyring are all credential and password managers, but a password manager functions will be discussed later in this lesson. In this video, you will explore how all three managers function across different operating systems, enabling you to help users in an organization with credential-related issues. First, let's start with understanding the role of credential management. Imagine a secure vault that holds all your keys. For example, login credentials, digital certificates, and other sensitive information. That's essentially what Credential Manager, Keychain, and Keyring do. These systems encrypt your data and store it securely, allowing you to access it easily when needed. These tools offer some key functionalities. First is secure storage. Credentials are encrypted using strong algorithms, making them unreadable even if someone gains access to the storage location. The second is automated logins. These systems can automatically fill in login information for websites and applications, saving time and effort. And third is improved security. By eliminating the need to remember multiple passwords, you're less likely to reuse weak passwords, a common security vulnerability. Now let's explore how these systems work on different operating systems. Let's start with Windows Credential Manager. You can access the Credential Manager through the control panel. The manager stores login information for websites, applications, and network shares. It offers different levels of security for stored credentials, and you can view saved credentials, delete them, or manage their security settings here. It also integrates with features like Windows Hello for biometric authentication. Next is Apple's Keychain, which you can access and manage through the Keychain Access app. Keychain is a built-in system on Mac OS that stores your login credentials, certificates, and other sensitive data. It integrates seamlessly with Safari and other applications, automatically filling in login information when needed. Its features include secure storage for passwords, certificates, and other sensitive data. It integrates with Safari and other applications for automatic logins. It synchronizes with iCloud Keychain to keep your credentials updated across Apple devices. And it offers strong encryption to protect your data. Adding and managing credentials in Keychain is a straightforward process. When you log into a website or application for the first time, Keychain will prompt you to save your credentials. You can also manually add entries through the Keychain Access app. Last is Linux's Keyring, which offers a more decentralized approach to credential management. Instead of a single system like Keychain or Credential Manager, Linux uses keyrings. These are secure containers that store various types of keys, including login credentials. Let's examine some of Keyring's features. Its decentralized approach means different applications and services can manage the keyrings, and it offers flexibility for storing different types of keys. Popular keyrings include GNOME Keyring and KDE Wallet. Unlike Windows Credential Manager and Mac OS's Keychain, Keyring requires some technical knowledge to configure and manage effectively. The process for adding and managing credentials in keyrings varies depending on the specific keyring application used. Generally, applications will prompt you to save login information when you first use them, and you can manage them through the keyring application settings. Now that you know about the 3 types of credential managers, let's go through some additional tips for using all 3. Remember that the security of a credential management solution hinges on your master password. Users should choose a strong, unique password and never share it with anyone. Ensure that the credential manager, both built-in and third-party, is updated regularly to benefit from the latest security patches. And individuals have to be cautious of phishing attempts that try to trick them into revealing their login credentials or master password. Always verify if a website is legitimate before entering any sensitive information. By understanding the role of credential managers and choosing the right solution for your needs, you can significantly improve your login security and streamline your online experience. Credential managers like Windows Credential Manager, Apple's Keychain, or Linux's Keyring are valuable tools for support specialists and the users they assist. By securely storing and managing login information, these systems enhance convenience and strengthen security. Understanding the functionalities offered by built-in tools and third-party solutions allow you to make informed decisions and guide users towards the best approach for their needs. As an IT professional, you will often encounter questions from users on how to securely create and save strong passwords for websites and applications so they can conveniently be used at any time, or how to manage or sync passwords across multiple devices efficiently. This video equips you with the knowledge to recommend password manager software and browser extensions to users and support them when using these tools. These days, everyone has to manage dozens of passwords. Remembering each one, especially if they adhere to recommended complexity standards, is impractical. And this is where a password manager can make a world of difference. It is a tool designed to generate, store, and manage users' passwords for various online accounts and services. Such managers mitigate the risks of forgetting passwords or reusing ones across multiple sites by enabling the generation and use of strong, unique passwords for every account without the need to memorize them all. Isn't that convenient? Password managers do so by encrypting password information with a master password, which is the only one you need to remember. They also offer a secure vault for storing login details across websites and applications. Password managers come in 2 primary forms: standalone software and browser extensions. Standalone software operates independently of your web browser, offering a dedicated application that can store a wide range of information beyond just passwords, such as secure notes and credit card details. These applications often feature cross-platform synchronization, allowing access to passwords from any device. Browser extensions, on the other hand, integrate directly with your web browser, offering seamless autofill capabilities for login and payment information on websites. While they may not offer the full suite of features that standalone software does, their convenience and ease of use make them a popular choice for many users. Regardless of their form, most password managers share several key functionalities. Let's examine them now. First is encrypted storage, which is at the center of a password manager's security. Advanced encryption standards like AES 256 ensure that stored data, accessible only by the master password, remains secure against unauthorized access. This encryption acts as a vault for your passwords and sensitive information, making the master password crucial as the sole key to this vault. The next feature is automatic password generation. To combat the risks associated with weak or repeated passwords, password managers offer automatic password generation tools. These tools create complex, hard-to-crack passwords that significantly improve account security. Users can customize passwords to meet specific website requirements, aiding in maintaining strong, unique passwords for each account. Another functionality is the detection of reused passwords. Password managers help identify and alert users to reuse passwords across accounts, promoting the use of unique passwords. This feature is vital in preventing a single breach from compromising multiple accounts and encouraging better password hygiene. Password managers also offer autofill capabilities. This feature streamlines the login process by automatically entering credentials into login fields. This saves time and reduces phishing risks and exposure to keylogger attacks by bypassing the need for manual typing. The last key functionality is the secure sharing of login details within encrypted channels. This feature is perfect for teamwork or family use. It allows for controlled access to shared accounts, maintaining security while still facilitating collaboration. These core functionalities make password managers essential for secure and efficient digital identity management, offering better protection and user-friendly features to solve password-related issues. To maximize the benefits of using password managers, make the following suggestions to your users. Your master password is the key to all your other passwords. Make it long, complex, and unique. Regularly review and update your stored passwords, especially for sensitive accounts. Where possible, enable multi-factor authentication on your password manager account for an added layer of security. If it is required to share credentials, they should use secure sharing features within password managers for sharing sensitive information rather than insecure methods like email. In summary, by understanding the capabilities and benefits of password managers, you can empower your users to adopt secure password practices. This reduces the risk of breaches, simplifies login processes, and ultimately lightens your troubleshooting load. Remember, educating your users on password security is an ongoing process. Use this guide as a resource to confidently answer their questions and promote secure password habits across your organization. In today's world, where cyber threats are constantly evolving, managing and regularly updating passwords has become a critical aspect of online security. As an aspiring IT professional, one of your primary responsibilities will be to ensure the security and integrity of the systems and data entrusted to your care. As you have learned, password managers are a powerful tool to help individuals and organizations navigate this challenging terrain, but their effective implementation and maintenance require an understanding of best practices. In this comprehensive video, you will learn about these best practices so that you can effectively educate the users you will be supporting. First is the importance of periodic password updates. Passwords are the first line of defense against unauthorized access to user accounts. Over time, passwords can become vulnerable due to various reasons, such as data breaches, dictionary attacks, or simply the passage of time. Regularly updating passwords is a proactive measure to mitigate these risks and keep your users' accounts secure. There are several reasons why password updating is so important, so let's examine them now. Massive data breaches have become increasingly common, exposing millions of user credentials to cyber criminals. If a password is compromised in a breach, updating it promptly can prevent unauthorized access to accounts and potential identity theft or financial losses. Even if a password hasn't been compromised, its strength can degrade over time. As computing power increases and new cracking techniques emerge, passwords that were once considered strong may become vulnerable. Periodic updates help ensure that passwords remain robust and resistant to brute force attacks. Users should set reminders to review and update passwords. Aim for every 3 to 6 months, or more frequently if a security breach is suspected. Certain accounts, such as those related to financial transactions, healthcare, or sensitive personal information, require extra vigilance. Regularly updating passwords for these accounts adds an additional layer of protection against potential breaches and identity theft. And some industries and organizations have strict compliance regulations that mandate regular password updates for enhanced security. Failing to comply with these regulations can result in large fines or legal consequences. Let's quickly review the reasons why regularly updating passwords is a good idea. It can protect against data breaches. Older passwords may become vulnerable due to increasingly effective cyber attacks. Sensitive accounts require extra vigilance. And finally, regular password updates may be required by certain industries or organizations. The next best practice is related to the password generator function of password managers. One of the most valuable features is the ability to generate strong, unique passwords. Creating strong passwords manually can be a daunting task, as it requires adhering to complex password policies and ensuring that the passwords are truly random and difficult to guess. Password managers simplify this process by providing built-in password generators that can create robust passwords tailored to specific needs. Let's go through the reasons why using this feature is so vital. Password managers use advanced algorithms and cryptographic techniques to generate truly random passwords. These passwords are not based on predictable patterns or dictionary words, making them much more resistant to brute force attacks and other cracking methods. Most password managers allow people to customize the password generation settings to meet specific requirements. Your users can specify the desired length, character sets like uppercase, lowercase, numbers and symbols, and other criteria. This is to ensure that the generated passwords comply with an organization's password policies or personal preferences. While manually creating passwords, individuals often resort to common patterns or character substitutions. For example, replacing the letter A with the @ symbol, or replacing the letter E with the number 3. These patterns can be easily identified and exploited by attackers. Password managers eliminate this risk by generating truly random combinations of characters. When generating a new password for an existing account, password managers can automatically update the password on the associated website or service. Additionally, they can sync the updated password across all their devices, ensuring that they have access to the latest credentials from any authorized device. Password managers can analyze the strength of generated passwords and provide feedback on their security level. This feature can help users strike the right balance between password complexity and memorability, ensuring that their passwords are both secure and usable. Let's quickly recap why it's so useful to use the built-in password generators in password managers. You have access to advanced random password generation that combats attacks. You can customize how your passwords are composed. Having passwords generated for you means you avoid common pitfalls. Passwords are automatically updated and synced across devices. And finally, a password manager can analyze how strong a password is and provide you feedback on it. Modern password managers offer a wealth of features to help people manage and update passwords effectively. Here are some advanced features you can tell users about. Password managers can analyze the strength of existing passwords and make recommendations for stronger, more secure alternatives based on industry-standard password policies. Most password managers can display the age of the passwords, making it easier to identify which ones need to be updated based on the organization's password expiration policies or personal preferences. Some managers offer dark web monitoring services, which continuously scan for compromised credentials on the dark web and alert the user if any of their passwords have been exposed in a data breach. This allows them to take immediate action and update compromised passwords. Adhering to best practices enables everyone to maximize the benefits of password managers, maintaining secure, current passwords for all online accounts. By educating your users and implementing these best practices, you can ensure strong, up-to-date passwords across all accounts within your organization. This routine maintenance also strengthens your organization's overall cybersecurity posture and safeguards users' data. Here you are at the end of the first part of the course already. Well done on making it this far. You learned quite a lot in this section, so it's probably a good idea to recap the most important learning points to help you keep track of where you are in your learning journey. You can also use this summary to identify any areas that you might want to revisit before tackling the module quiz. Remember, you can return to items anytime to refresh your memory. Now, let's start with a summary. In the first part of the module, you got a taste of what cybersecurity and privacy are all about, with a course introduction and syllabus laying out a roadmap for you. You also reflected on what it takes to succeed in the course and shared your goals and motivations with your fellow learners. Next up, you dove right into the world of passwords. You learned that a strong password is like a secret handshake, long, complex, and unpredictable. You also explored the dangers of using the same password for every account, and you were armed with strategies to create strong, unique passwords for different accounts. Remember, password reuse can make multiple accounts vulnerable if one of them is breached. Following this, you examined common threats to password security and learned best practices for keeping passwords safe. For example, to safeguard against machine learning and AI-powered attacks, you should always verify the authenticity of emails and websites. Additionally, you got the lowdown on multi-factor authentication with the course content explaining its importance and various methods. In particular, there are 3 types of authentication factors: knowledge, possession, and inherence. After this, the realms of the deep web and dark web were demystified, and the distinction between the dark web and deep web was clarified, emphasizing their role and impact on privacy and security. There was also an introduction to passwordless authentication systems, and you had a hands-on exercise demonstrating the principle. In the third part of the module, you navigated privacy settings in operating systems. You learned how to manage location services, camera and microphone access, data sharing preferences, and other application permissions. And exploring file encryption tools like BitLocker and FileVault helped you understand their mechanisms and benefits. Web browser privacy settings were discussed, including configuring settings for cookies, tracking, browsing history, and autofill information. Furthermore, the concept of biometric authentication was explored, along with strategies to safeguard biometric data. Who knew biometric privacy could be so interesting? After this, you dug into common privacy mistakes and how to avoid them to help you guide users. For example, you learned about the pitfalls of sharing passwords and personal information, clicking on suspicious links, ignoring privacy settings, and using pirated software. You were also guided on best practices for privacy controls across digital platforms and had a practical exercise to test your knowledge of the topic. In the final part of the course, you were introduced to Credential Manager, Keychain, and Keyring, demonstrating their role in securely managing user credentials. You learned how to securely manage your user credentials and were equipped to troubleshoot common issues associated with these systems. The course also spotlighted Password Manager software and browser extensions, giving you the inside scoop on their features and best practices. This section emphasized the importance of managing and updating passwords in password managers, including checking the age of passwords and changing them periodically. Techniques for managing and transferring password storage solutions across different platforms and devices were discussed. And finally, you completed one last exercise, helping you become proficient at secure password storage and management. As this module summary wraps up, you can give yourself a pat on the back. You successfully navigated the ins and outs of advanced password management and privacy measures. Armed with new knowledge and skills, you are now ready to help others protect their personal information and confidently navigate the digital world. This first part of the course is now over, but keep your enthusiasm and curiosity going, as there's still much more to learn in the next module. As an IT professional, one of your key responsibilities will be to ensure the security and efficiency of your organization's network. A fundamental aspect of network security is the management of open ports. To effectively support your users, you must understand what network ports are, their role in network communication, and the risks they carry when left unmanaged or improperly secured. This video will provide a comprehensive overview of open ports, their functions, and the associated security threats. You will also explore best practices for managing open ports effectively to provide the best support to the users. Before we delve into the risks associated with open ports, let's recap what network ports are. Network ports can be considered virtual doors through which network communications can pass. Each port is associated with a number, which is standardized for specific types of services. For example, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP, uses port 80 for accessing websites and web servers, and the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, or SMTP, uses port 25 for email transmission. Now let's move on to the function of open ports. For services to be accessible over a network, the corresponding ports must be open. Open ports are active listeners on a network, waiting for requests or commands to process. For instance, To transfer a file using File Transfer Protocol, or FTP, port 23 must be open. While open ports are necessary for business operations, there are also potential entry points for attackers. An open port is like an open door. If it's not properly monitored or secured, someone could walk through it without your knowledge. Let's examine 4 risks associated with open ports: unauthorized access, data breaches, service exposure, and malware infections. One of the primary risks associated with open ports is unauthorized access. If an attacker discovers an open port, they might be able to exploit vulnerabilities in the associated service to gain unauthorized access to the network or system. This could lead to data theft, service disruption, or even a full system takeover. Open ports can also be the conduit for data breaches. If sensitive information is transmitted through these ports without proper encryption or security measures, cybercriminals could intercept it. This could have severe consequences, including financial loss and damage to the organization's reputation. The next risk is service exposure. Services running on open ports are exposed to the internet, and any misconfiguration or unpatched vulnerabilities could be exploited. For example, an outdated web server might have known security flaws that an attacker could leverage to cause harm. The last risk is malware, which can use open ports to propagate and infect systems. Some types of malware, such as worms, actively scan networks for open ports and exploit them to spread to other systems. Once a system is infected, the malware can perform various malicious activities, such as data theft, system disruption, or using the system as part of a botnet. To mitigate the risks associated with open ports, IT professionals should implement the following best practices. First, you should conduct regular network port audits to identify any unnecessary or unauthorized open ports. This helps identify potential security gaps and ensures that only ports required for business operations are accessible. You should then close any unnecessary ports to reduce the attack surface and minimize risk. One of the best ways to protect open ports is deploying firewalls to control incoming and outgoing network traffic by allowing or blocking open ports. By implementing strict firewall rules, you can limit the exposure of open ports to only trusted sources. Third, you should keep all systems and applications up to date with the latest security patches and updates. Regular patching helps address known vulnerabilities and reduce the risk of compromise. Fourth, grant users and applications only the minimum level of access required to perform their tasks. This reduces the potential damage if an attacker gains access through an open port. Fifth, segment the network into different zones based on security requirements. This helps isolate critical systems and reduce the impact of a potential breach. By segmenting the network, you can limit the exposure of open ports to specific audiences, making it more difficult for attackers to exploit the network. And lastly, enable logging and monitoring for services running on open ports to detect and respond to potential security incidents or suspicious activity. So, to summarize, open port best practices include auditing ports and closing unnecessary ones, implementing firewalls, keeping everything up to date, controlling access to the ports, segmenting the network, and logging and monitoring services running on open ports. Open ports are fundamental for network communication, but they also present security challenges. By understanding the associated risks and implementing best practices for port management, IT support specialists can effectively safeguard their networks and user data. Remember, a proactive approach coupled with continuous monitoring and education is essential for maintaining a secure and resilient network environment. Earlier, you learned about open ports and their risks. And one of the best practices you learned about is to audit them to identify all open ports and close unnecessary ones. The method IT professionals use to perform such audits is network port scanning. This video covers the fundamental principles and purposes of port scanning so that you can be well equipped to provide support when necessary. Port scanning offers a wealth of information for network security professionals. Let's explore some examples. First, you can identify the services running on a device by pinpointing open ports. Scanning can also be used to determine the target machine's operating system type and version. For instance, an open port 445 indicates a Windows machine with file sharing enabled, which could be a vulnerability if not configured securely. Second, open ports can expose vulnerabilities in the underlying services. IT professionals can prioritize patching and remediation efforts by correlating open ports with known vulnerabilities. Third, port scanning can help map a network's layout. By scanning multiple devices, you can gain insights into the overall network architecture and identify potential weak points. Fourth, regularly scheduled port scans can establish a baseline of open ports. Deviations from this baseline can indicate unauthorized activity or compromised systems. Fifth and last, port scanning can assist in troubleshooting network connectivity problems. Diagnosing network communication issues becomes more efficient by verifying if essential service ports are open and reachable. Port scanning operates by sending various types of network requests to system ports and analyzing the responses. Let's break down some common scanning techniques. The most straightforward and reliable method is TCP connect scanning. This involves attempting to make a full TCP connection to a series of ports on a target host. For each attempt, the scanner observes the response. The device's response reveals the port's status, which can be open, closed, or filtered. If the connection is successfully established, the port is considered open. This means it actively listens for incoming connections, which indicates a running service. If the connection attempt is refused, it means there's no service listening. This signifies a potentially unused or inactive application. The port is therefore considered closed. If there's no response at all, the port is considered filtered. This often indicates a firewall is blocking access, making it difficult to determine the port's true state. Another technique is UDP scanning, which is used to discover open UDP ports. Since UDP is connectionless, the process is a little different from TCP scanning. First, the scanner sends a UDP packet to a port. If the UDP packet is received, the port is open. If an ICMP port unreachable error is returned, the port is closed. If there is no response, the port is either open or filtered by a firewall. UDP scans can be slower and less reliable than TCP scans, as the lack of response can be ambiguous. The next technique is SYN scanning, also known as half-open scanning. It takes advantage of the way TCP connections are established. The scanner sends a SYN, or synchronized packet, as if it'll open a connection. If the target port is open, it will respond with a SYN-ACK, synchronized acknowledgement packet. If the port is closed, the target device responds with an RST, or reset packet. IT professionals can also use ACK scanning, which maps out firewall rule sets, determining if the ports are statefully inspected. The scanner sends an ACK packet that appears to be part of an established connection. The response, or lack thereof, can indicate how the firewall is configured to handle such packets. Last are stealth scans, which include a variety of techniques designed to obscure the scan's origin or make it difficult for network security systems to detect. These can include fragmenting packets, using fake IP addresses, or timing the scan to occur very slowly over hours or days. IT professionals may use this type of scanning if they suspect a machine is compromised and they don't want to reveal that they're performing a scan. Now that we've examined the methods, let's turn our attention to tools. There are a plethora of tools available for port scanning, each with its strengths and use cases. Perhaps the most well-known scanning tool, Nmap, offers a wide range of scanning options, including version detection and OS detection. MassScan is designed for large networks and can scan the entire internet in under 6 minutes. NatCat, often dubbed the Swiss Army knife of networking, can be used for various networking tasks, including port scanning. Port scanning is a potent tool, but carries ethical implications and legal responsibilities. Here's what to consider. Always get permission before scanning a network you don't own. Unauthorized scans can seem like a tax. Don't overwhelm target devices or use too much bandwidth. Keep scan intensity low. and follow local and national laws about network security assessments to ensure compliance before starting a port scan operation. As an IT professional or support specialist, understanding port scanning is crucial. Armed with this knowledge, you can identify vulnerabilities, secure your networks, and assist users within your organization. IT professionals have to understand the potential threats and vulnerabilities associated with open ports to assist individuals in their organization in keeping their computers safe and secure. This video provides you with an overview of both vulnerabilities and threats and how to mitigate them. Let's first examine the weak points that expose networks to potential compromise. By now you know that one of the most common vulnerabilities arises when unnecessary ports are left open and exposed to the internet. Attackers can easily discover these open ports, enabling them to probe for weaknesses and attempt unauthorized access. Second, many network services and applications come with default or easily guessable credentials, which attackers can exploit if they're not changed or strengthened. Weak credentials leave ports vulnerable to brute force attacks and unauthorized access. Third, network services and applications often have known vulnerabilities to exploit through their associated ports. Failing to apply security patches and updates promptly can open these vulnerabilities for attackers to exploit. Fourth, improper configurations, such as disabling security features or allowing unrestricted access, can introduce vulnerabilities that can be leveraged through network ports. Now let's move on to the threats malicious actors pose. While port scanning can be a useful tool for IT professionals, it can also be employed by attackers to identify open ports and gather information about the services running on them, enabling more targeted attacks. Furthermore, vulnerabilities in network services can be exploited to execute arbitrary code on the target system, potentially leading to complete system compromise. And unsecured network ports can provide attackers with a pathway to extract sensitive data from compromised systems, resulting in data breaches and potential regulatory fines or reputational damage. Once an attacker gains a foothold through a vulnerable network port, they can potentially move laterally within the network, escalating their privileges and compromising additional systems. Compromised systems can be co-opted into botnets, vast networks of infected devices controlled by attackers. These botnets can leverage open ports to communicate with their command and control servers, facilitating the spread of malware and coordinating distributed attacks. By flooding network ports with excessive traffic from multiple sources, attackers can overwhelm the target system or network, causing services to become unavailable or overloaded. Distributed denial of service attacks can be particularly challenging to mitigate, as they can leverage many compromised devices or systems to generate overwhelming traffic, potentially including botnets. These attacks can lead to service disruptions, data loss, and significant financial and reputational damage. Adopting a comprehensive, multi-layered approach is crucial to effectively mitigate the diverse array of network port vulnerabilities and threats. Let's learn how to fortify network security. First, there should be multiple layers of security controls. These can include firewalls, intrusion detection and prevention systems, and web application firewalls to create a robust defense against network port threats. Next, IT professionals should also deploy a security information and event management, or SIEM solution, to centralize log collection, analysis, and correlation from various sources. This enables proactive threat detection and incident response related to network port vulnerabilities. A robust vulnerability management program should be established. It should incorporate regular vulnerability scanning, risk assessment, and remediation processes to address weaknesses in network services and applications. When it comes to applications, implementing application whitelisting ensures that only authorized software and services are permitted to run. This reduces the attack surface and mitigates the risk of malware exploiting network port vulnerabilities. IT professionals should also employ network traffic analysis tools to monitor and inspect network traffic patterns, enabling the detection of anomalies and potential threats targeting network ports. They should also adopt a secure software development lifecycle approach that incorporates secure coding practices, code reviews, and security testing. This ensures that applications and services are developed with security in mind, minimizing vulnerabilities that could be exploited through network ports. Something else that requires attention is third-party risk management. The security risks associated with third-party vendors, service providers, and partners who may have access to your network should be assessed and managed. This helps to ensure that their security practices align with your organization's standards for network port security. And lastly, to maintain a proactive and adaptive security posture, IT professionals should regularly review and update network port security measures and stay informed about emerging threats, vulnerabilities, and best practices. In conclusion, as an IT professional, it is important to be aware of the safeguards needed to protect an organization's digital assets. Now that you have knowledge of network port vulnerabilities and threats, you can proactively support your users and save them from potential damage and data loss. Network traffic, the term used to describe the movement of data across a network, is a fundamental concept in the realm of IT infrastructure. It is crucial for IT professionals and support specialists to understand the basics of network traffic, how it is measured and analyzed, and the challenges and benefits of managing it. Understanding network traffic helps IT professionals and support specialists effectively manage, troubleshoot, and optimize network performance. This video aims to provide an overview of these critical aspects, shedding light on the significance of efficient network traffic management. Let's start with what exactly network traffic is. When devices like computers, smartphones, and servers interact, they generate network traffic. Network traffic consists of packets of data transmitted over networks. These packets are the fundamental units that carry our emails, website content, and file transfers from one point to another. Traffic can occur within a local area network or traverse wide area networks, including the vast collective network known as the Internet. This interaction is regulated by protocols such as TCP/IP and UDP. TCP/IP, or Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, ensures that data packets are accurately sent, received, and reassembled. It is similar to a reliable postman who ensures your mail is delivered correctly. On the other hand, UDP, or User Datagram Protocol, is used for speedy but less dependable transmissions. This is similar to a courier who delivers quickly but doesn't wait to confirm if the package was received. Network traffic is composed of discrete data units known as packets. These packets contain the transmitted information and are like individual envelopes within the postal system. Each packet typically includes a header containing routing information and a payload containing the transmitted data. When these packets are sent across the network, they travel through various network devices such as routers, switches, and firewalls, which direct them to their intended destinations. As packets travel across the network through devices, the speed of their transmission is crucial. Internet speeds advertised by Internet service providers are measured in megabits per second or gigabits per second. These measurements indicate the theoretical maximum rate for downloading and uploading data. The higher the megabits or gigabits per second value, the faster you can transfer files and enjoy a smoother online experience. When checking your home internet speed, you'll find the following units and measurements. First is bytes, which is the total amount of data transmitted over the network. Second is packets, the individual data units transmitted, each containing a portion of the overall message. And third is flows, a series of packets transmitted between a specific source and destination during a particular time interval. Measuring and analyzing network traffic is important for understanding network usage, identifying potential bottlenecks, and ensuring optimal performance. Common metrics used for traffic analysis include throughput, the rate at which data is transmitted over the network, typically measured in bits per second. Latency, the time it takes for a packet to travel from its source to its destination, measured in milliseconds. And packet loss, the percentage of packets that fail to reach their destination due to network congestion or other issues. Efficient management of network traffic yields several benefits. First, by identifying and resolving congestion points and bandwidth limitations, network traffic management helps optimize network performance. This ensures that critical data reaches its destination without delay. Second, monitoring network traffic enables the detection of suspicious activities or potential security breaches, allowing timely intervention to mitigate risks and protect sensitive data. And third, understanding network traffic patterns enables organizations to allocate resources effectively. By doing so, they can optimize bandwidth usage and minimize unnecessary network congestion. Despite its benefits, managing network traffic also poses several challenges. Managing network traffic has become more challenging due to the complexity of networks with added devices and cloud computing. As cyber threats continue to evolve, managing network traffic to ensure security and privacy has become a critical concern for organizations. Maintaining security requires constant vigilance and advanced security measures, and scalable solutions are necessary to manage network traffic in large-scale environments while maintaining performance and accommodating growing data and devices. Network traffic patterns vary depending on the type and scale of the network. Small-scale home networks are typically characterized by low traffic volume and limited bandwidth, primarily used for internet access, streaming, and gaming. Enterprise networks handle significantly higher traffic volumes with a mix of internal and external communication. This includes data transfers, video conferencing, and cloud applications. And data center networks are designed for high-speed, low-latency data transmission, supporting critical applications and massive data processing. Before concluding this video, let's explore a network management scenario that requires troubleshooting. Imagine a large enterprise network experiencing intermittent slowdowns and performance issues. The IT team suspects network congestion is the root cause. After using network monitoring tools to analyze traffic patterns, they discover a particular server is generating an unusually high volume of outbound traffic, saturating the network link. The culprit? A backup application transferring large amounts of data to an off-site storage facility. The team schedules the backup process to run during off-peak hours when network traffic is lower and implements various measures to prioritize other vital traffic. Problem solved. In summary, network traffic enables communication and data exchange across devices. It is essential for IT professionals and support specialists to understand its components, metrics, and management techniques to ensure optimal network performance, security, and cost-effectiveness. Internet usage is growing at an exponential rate. From streaming videos and online gaming to cloud computing and remote work, digital activities generate massive amounts of data that must be efficiently managed across networks. This increased traffic can lead to network congestion, security vulnerabilities, and performance issues. Network segmentation offers a solution by dividing the network into smaller segments, allowing for better traffic management and security controls. As an IT professional or support specialist, understanding network segmentation is important for optimizing traffic flow and enhancing overall network performance in your organization. This video will help you grasp the concept of network segmentation and its role in managing network traffic in both home and office settings. Let's start off with the objective of segmentation. The primary goal of network segmentation is to streamline traffic flow, enabling better management of resources, improved security, and overall enhanced performance. By segregating the network, the movement of information between devices and systems is controlled, ensuring that sensitive information is kept safe from unauthorized access while simultaneously improving the speed and efficiency of the network. Let's explore this a bit more. First, every Wi-Fi router has a limit on the bandwidth it can provide and the number of devices that can connect to it. Without proper traffic management, bandwidth-intensive activities like video streaming and online gaming can consume disproportionate resources, leaving other applications starved for bandwidth. Network segmentation allows you to prioritize and allocate bandwidth more efficiently by separating different types of traffic onto dedicated subnetworks, ensuring that high-priority applications receive the necessary bandwidth they require. Second, every network has sensitive data and critical systems that must be protected from unauthorized access and potential breaches. By segmenting the network and isolating these sensitive resources into separate subnetworks, you can contain potential threats within those segments, minimizing the impact of a security breach on the rest of the network. For example, you can isolate the network used by the sales team totally from the network used by the finance department. Third, network congestion and bottlenecks can significantly degrade overall performance, leading to slow response times, buffering issues, and frustrating user experiences. By segmenting the network and separating high-traffic areas from low-traffic ones, you can allocate resources more effectively, reducing bottlenecks and ensuring smoother operations across the entire network infrastructure. Network segmentation allows for individualized management of each segment, including controlling network traffic, applying security protocols, and defining interconnectivity between segments. Segmentation can be achieved through two main approaches: physical segmentation and virtual segmentation. Physical segmentation involves using dedicated hardware, such as separate internet connections, physical network equipment, and firewalls to create closed-off networks. This approach, also known as perimeter-based segmentation, treats everything outside the network perimeter as untrusted. However, once a threat penetrates the perimeter, it can move freely within the network due to the lack of internal filtering. Virtual segmentation, on the other hand, extends beyond the traditional network perimeter by using technologies like virtual local area networks, or VLANs, and distributed firewalls to create virtual segments independent of the physical infrastructure. This approach provides the same benefits as physical segmentation, but more flexibility and cost-effectively, allowing for easier adjustment of security policies within each segment. Now let's examine how network segmentation works in an office setting. Network segmentation is important in managing complex network infrastructures, ensuring data security, and optimizing productivity in an office environment. Here are 4 common use cases you might encounter in organizations. You can segment a network based on departments or functional areas, allowing for better access control, data segregation, and resource allocation. This approach helps maintain confidentiality and ensures that sensitive information remains isolated within specific subnetworks. You can also segment a network based on roles. By segmenting the network based on user roles, such as administrators, employees, and contractors, you can implement granular access controls and limit potential security risks. For example, you can set up a guest network for external visitors. You can then isolate this guest network from other networks in your organization to avoid potential security issues. You can also rely on server and application segmentation. Critical servers, databases, and applications can be isolated onto dedicated subnetworks. This enhances security and performance while minimizing the impact of potential threats or network congestion. Lastly, with the increasing trend of employees using personal devices for work, segmenting devices into a separate network can help protect the organization's resources and data from potential vulnerabilities or malware. In home environments, network segmentation can also play a crucial role in improving network performance and security. By dividing your home network into smaller segments, you can prioritize traffic for activities like video streaming and online gaming, ensuring a smoother experience for these bandwidth-intensive applications. Additionally, segmenting your network can help protect your devices from potential security threats by isolating them from other devices on the network. This can be particularly useful for securing smart home devices, which may have vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. Whether it's in the home or at the office, it's essential to carefully plan and design your network segmentation strategy, considering factors such as security requirements, performance needs, scalability, and ease of management. Network segmentation is a powerful tool for managing network traffic and enhancing overall network performance in office environments. By understanding its concepts and applications, you'll be better equipped to support your organization's networking needs and ensure a smooth, secure, and efficient digital experience for all users. Picture a giant digital highway with billions of data packets whizzing at lightning speeds. That's the reality of today's networks, powering businesses, enabling communication and data flow. However, this never-ending flow of information also attracts potential threats and traffic jams that could block an organization. That's where network traffic analysis comes in. It allows IT professionals to have an X-ray vision of their network and understand what's happening. Like an expert traffic controller, network traffic analysis gives you a clear view of your network's complex data movement patterns. By tapping into its capabilities, you can identify congestion points, detect suspicious activities, and optimize the flow of information for a smooth, secure digital experience throughout your organization. This video will help you to understand network traffic analysis, its benefits, popular tools, and real-world application. Network traffic analysis, or NTA, involves continuously examining network traffic to establish a baseline of normal network behavior. NTA tools can also detect abnormal traffic patterns or unusual network activities and alert the security team of potential threats. Network traffic analysis is very beneficial to organizations in several different ways. Let's examine those now. By analyzing traffic patterns, IT professionals can identify and resolve performance issues. For example, bandwidth constraints, network congestion, or inefficient routing configurations. And network traffic analysis enables the detection of suspicious activities, unauthorized access attempts, and potential cyber threats, allowing for timely mitigation and incident response. Many industries and sectors also have strict data privacy and security regulations. NTA helps organizations monitor and demonstrate compliance with these regulations. And lastly, when network issues arise, network traffic analysis provides valuable insights into the root cause. This enables IT professionals to identify and resolve problems more efficiently. While commercial tools have powerful features, the open source community provides a robust collection of tools for network traffic analysis. Let's examine some of those now. First is Wireshark, a top choice because of its in-depth packet inspection capabilities. While it has a learning curve, its free and open source nature makes it an excellent starting point for understanding network traffic fundamentals. Second is TCP dump, a command line tool and a network sniffing powerhouse. It captures live traffic packets on your network interface, allowing you to analyze protocols and identify potential issues. TCP dump is a fundamental tool for Linux users and integrates seamlessly with other open source tools for powerful analysis pipelines. Third is Suricata, which is like a network security guard on steroids. It's a free and open source intrusion detection system that analyzes real-time network traffic, identifying malicious activity and potential threats. Suricata can be configured to detect a wide range of attacks, including malware communication and unauthorized access attempts. Fourth is ElkStack, a powerful open-source combination of popular tools like Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. It provides a comprehensive log analysis and visualization platform. While not strictly a network traffic analysis tool on its own, ElkStack can be integrated with tools like TCP dump to collect and analyze network traffic data. It gives IT professionals access to real-time dashboards and historical data analysis, allowing them to identify trends and potential security incidents. Fifth and last is Nmap. It's not a dedicated packet capture tool, but it can be used to identify open ports, running services, and operating systems on connected devices. This information helps you understand your network topology, establish a baseline for network traffic patterns, and identify potential security risks associated with specific services. To effectively implement network traffic analysis, IT professionals should follow a structured approach. They should begin by clearly identifying the reasons for conducting a network traffic analysis. For example, security monitoring, performance optimization, or compliance requirements. Once objectives have been identified, they should choose the network traffic analysis tools that best align with their organization's needs, budgets, and existing infrastructure. After this, IT professionals should properly install and configure the selected tools, ensuring they integrate seamlessly with network infrastructure and meet security and privacy requirements. Once setup is complete, they should determine normal network traffic patterns and set appropriate thresholds for identifying anomalies or deviations from expected behavior. In the process of conducting network traffic analysis, IT professionals should regularly monitor and analyze network traffic data, identifying trends, patterns, and potential issues or threats. And finally, they should develop and implement incident response plans to address identified security threats or performance issues promptly and effectively. By mastering network traffic analysis, you become a valuable asset to your organization. You'll be able to identify and troubleshoot network issues proactively, ensuring a secure and efficient digital environment for your users. Nowadays, access to the internet is widely available. The question is, how do you protect your own and your company's online safety? Picture this. Misha, a financial analyst, attends a business meeting in a hotel conference room by connecting her laptop to the hotel's public Wi-Fi. During the meeting, she accesses her company's internal servers and reviews confidential financial reports. Fortunately, she realizes the potential risks of transmitting sensitive data over an unsecured network. She follows a safer strategy by connecting to her company's virtual private network, or VPN. The VPN establishes a secure connection that safeguards her online activities and ensures the privacy of her data transmissions. This is just one of the ways VPNs can protect internet users against cyber attacks. This video will help you grasp the significance of VPNs in daily life and how they safeguard both your personal and your company's online privacy and data. Let's start with the organizational need for VPNs. In a typical organizational setup, employees often access company resources and sensitive data from various locations, including their homes, public Wi-Fi hotspots, or while traveling. Without proper security measures, these connections can be vulnerable to cyber threats, such as man-in-the-middle attacks, eavesdropping, and data breaches. One of the most effective security measures against these threats is the deployment of VPNs. VPNs establish a secure, encrypted tunnel between the user's device and the organization's network. This ensures that confidential data transmitted over the internet remains protected from prying eyes. VPNs allow remote employees to access company resources, such as file servers, intranets, and internal applications, in a secure manner, as if they were physically connected to the office network. This not only enhances productivity, but also maintains the integrity and confidentiality of sensitive data, even when accessed from remote locations. Let's move on to a more common use of VPNs: everyday web browsing and streaming. When you connect to a VPN server, your internet traffic is encrypted. This makes it nearly impossible for third parties like hackers or internet service providers to monitor your online activities or access your sensitive information. This is especially useful for online banking and financial transactions and prevents unauthorized access to your sensitive financial information. Connecting via a VPN is very important when you use public Wi-Fi networks, which are often unsecured and vulnerable to cyber attacks. One key benefit of using a VPN is the ability to maintain online anonymity. When you connect to a VPN server, your internet traffic is routed through an encrypted tunnel, concealing your real IP address and location from third parties. VPNs mask your IP address, making it difficult for websites, advertisers, or potential hackers to link your online activities with your real identity or physical location. This anonymity feature is particularly useful when you want to protect your online identity and prevent tracking or targeted advertising based on your browsing habits. Such features are particularly valuable when you need to access sensitive information or you want to engage in activities that require more privacy. Examples include researching a medical condition you wish to keep confidential or sharing very confidential organizational data. In summary, as modern life's reliance on the internet continues to grow, the need for secure and private connection is increasingly important. VPNs offer a comprehensive solution for protecting your online privacy, safeguarding sensitive information, and maintaining anonymity in various everyday tasks. Whether browsing the web, streaming videos, banking online, or working remotely, leveraging the power of VPNs can provide peace of mind. As IT professionals, it is important to educate and guide users within organizations on the importance and practical applications of VPNs. And by implementing robust VPN solutions, you can empower your organization with the necessary tools to navigate the digital landscape securely and confidently. Virtual private networks have become essential for individuals and organizations seeking to enhance their online privacy and security. The concept of a VPN may seem straightforward. However, understanding how it works behind the scenes is crucial for IT professionals tasked with guiding users in their organizations. In this video, you will learn the technical mechanisms that power VPN operation, providing you with the knowledge necessary to support and troubleshoot VPN-related issues effectively in your organization. The first thing you should know is that at the core of a VPN's operation lies encryption. Encryption is a process that scrambles data so that only authorized parties can access it. By now you know when you connect to a VPN server, your device establishes a secure encrypted tunnel with that server. All your internet traffic is routed through this tunnel, protecting it from hackers and potential eavesdroppers. The encryption process typically involves two main components: the encryption algorithm and the encryption key. Common encryption algorithms used by VPNs include Advanced Encryption Standard, or AES, Blowfish, and Cha-Cha-20. These algorithms scramble your data using complex mathematical formulas. This makes it basically impossible for unauthorized parties to decipher the encrypted information. And the encryption key is a string of characters that determines how the algorithm scrambles your data. VPNs generally employ symmetric key encryption, where both the client, your device, and the server share the same key for encrypting and decrypting data. This shared key is established during the initial handshake between your device and the VPN server using a process called key exchange. Next, let's discuss the backbone of VPN communication: tunneling protocols. VPNs rely on tunneling protocols to establish and maintain the encrypted tunnel between your device and the VPN server. These protocols define the rules and methods for securely transmitting data over the Internet. Some of the most commonly used tunneling protocols in VPNs include Point-to-Point Tunneling Protocol, or PPTP, one of the earliest VPN protocols. PPTP is relatively easy to set up, but has known security vulnerabilities, making it less desirable for modern VPN implementations. There is also the Layer 2 Tunneling Protocol, or L2TP. L2TP is often combined with Internet Protocol Security, or IPsec, to provide a secure and reliable tunneling solution. This combination, known as L2TP IPsec, is widely used by various VPN providers. Another tunneling protocol is OpenVPN. OpenVPN is an open-source protocol that offers high security and flexibility. It can operate over a wide range of ports, making it more difficult for network administrators to block or detect. Furthermore, there is the Internet Key Exchange version 2, or IKE-v2. This modern tunneling protocol provides fast and secure connections. It is particularly well suited for mobile devices due to its ability to reconnect seamlessly after network disruptions. Now, let's move on to VPN server infrastructure. Behind the scenes, VPN providers operate a network of servers strategically located worldwide. When you connect to a VPN server, your internet traffic is routed through this server, effectively masking your real IP address and location. VPN servers are typically configured with robust security measures, including firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and access controls. These measures help protect the server infrastructure from unauthorized access and potential attacks, ensuring the integrity and confidentiality of the data passing through the VPN tunnel. Additionally, VPN providers often implement load balancing techniques to distribute the incoming traffic across multiple servers. This ensures optimal performance and prevents any single server from becoming overwhelmed. While a VPN encrypts your internet traffic and masks your IP address, additional measures are in place to ensure your online activities remain private. One such measure is DNS leak protection. DNS, which stands for Domain Name System, is responsible for translating domain names, such as www.example.com, into an IP address that computers can understand. If your DNS requests are not properly routed through the VPN tunnel, they may reveal your actual IP address and location, compromising your privacy. VPN clients often include built-in DNS leak protection mechanisms to prevent DNS leaks. These mechanisms ensure that all DNS requests are routed through the VPN tunnel, preventing any potential leaks of your real IP address. Another important feature found in many VPN clients is the kill switch. A kill switch is designed to automatically terminate your internet connection if the VPN tunnel becomes disrupted or disconnected. This prevents your online activities from being exposed to your internet service provider or other third parties, ensuring your privacy remains intact, even during a VPN connection failure. And that's the basics of VPNs and how they work. This video provided technical insight into the mechanisms of VPN operation, which will help you better assist users in setting up and troubleshooting VPN connections. Well done on reaching the end of this module. By following along, you gained in-depth knowledge about essential topics in cybersecurity, including ports, network traffic, server communication security, and VPNs. At this point in your learning path, you should be able to describe the role of ports in network environments and their security risks, discuss tools and strategies for effective monitoring, analysis, and optimization of network traffic, explain how to secure server communication against potential threats and vulnerabilities, and describe the function, implementation, and security of virtual private networks. Let's recap what you've covered. In the first part of the course, you learned about different types of open ports, the risks and techniques to monitor and protect them. For example, you learned that the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP port 80, is the default port used for accessing websites and web servers. You also explored the intricacies of port vulnerabilities, covering various cyber threats, including port scanning attacks and their potential consequences, such as data breaches and system compromises. Additionally, you covered effective strategies for securing network ports, such as implementing access controls, regular security audits, and using firewalls. With this knowledge, you should be able to secure ports in different networking environments, from small home networks to large enterprise systems. In the second part of the module, you discovered the fundamentals of network traffic and traffic measuring metrics, such as bytes, packets, and flows. You also covered the characteristics of various types of network traffic, such as unicast, multicast, broadcast, and anycast. Also, think about the network performance metrics you covered, like bandwidth, latency, jitter, and packet loss. Next, you learned about network segmentation as a key strategy for managing network traffic effectively in various environments. You explored practical applications of network segmentation in both home and office settings, and how it can be used to isolate personal devices from professional ones, manage bandwidth usage, and protect sensitive data. Moreover, you gained in-depth knowledge about methods to protect network traffic, focusing on encryption technologies, the use of secure protocols, firewall implementations, and VPNs. And recall the best practices for maintaining privacy and security in network communications, such as compliance with regulatory standards and policies. Finally, in the third part of the module, you learned more about VPNs. You started by learning how VPNs are used in everyday tasks, ranging from remote work, online banking, browsing, and streaming. There are many VPN services available, and you learned what factors to consider when choosing a VPN service. Factors such as speed, security features, server locations, user interface, data retention, and pricing will affect what VPN fits your organization's needs. You then went further into the technicalities of how VPNs work, focusing on encryption, VPN protocols, and VPN server infrastructure. You also covered specific VPN features such as split tunneling, kill switch, and DNS leak protection. Furthermore, you studied the strengths and weaknesses of various VPN protocols, and you gained invaluable knowledge for IT professionals about troubleshooting common VPN issues and possible solutions. With a focus on both theoretical understanding and practical application, you should now have a good idea of how to secure digital communications and optimize network performance. You've reached the end of this module summary. Are you ready for the module quiz? If you feel unsure about any topics, don't hesitate to revisit the relevant videos and readings. Good luck. In today's business world, organizations have the choice between leveraging cloud computing services or building their own on-premises computing infrastructure. While cloud solutions offer convenience and scalability, many businesses still opt for on-premises infrastructure to maintain control, enhance security, and tailor their computing resources to specific needs. This video will help you understand the core elements of on-premises infrastructure so that you can effectively design, deploy, and maintain these systems as an IT professional. Let's get started by examining the key advantages of on-premises infrastructure. Firstly, because organizations own all hardware, software, and configurations in an on-premises setup, they can tailor the infrastructure to their specific requirements and workflows. This control extends to aspects such as security policies, access controls, and data governance practices. Organizations can implement stringent security measures, enforce compliance with industry regulations, and maintain complete control over sensitive data stored within their on-premises infrastructure. Additionally, on-premises infrastructure offers the flexibility to integrate legacy systems, customize applications, and deploy proprietary or specialized software solutions that may not be readily available or supported in cloud environments. Now let's turn our attention to the core elements of on-premises infrastructure. At the heart of any on-premises infrastructure lies the server hardware. Servers are powerful computers that handle intensive workloads and provide computing resources to multiple users or applications. These servers can be physical machines housed in an organization's data center or server room, or they can also be virtual machines hosted on the cloud. Physical servers typically consist of high-performance components, such as multi-core processors, substantial amounts of RAM, and redundant storage systems. They are often equipped with enterprise-grade components that prioritize reliability, performance, and scalability. IT professionals must carefully select and configure server hardware based on the organization's workload requirements, growth projections, and budget constraints. But an on-premises computing environment is not just about servers. A robust network infrastructure is also essential. This includes various networking components, such as switches, routers, firewalls, and load balancers. IT professionals must design and implement a secure and efficient network topology. This topology needs to enable communication between servers, clients, and other devices within the organization's internal network and facilitate external connectivity when required. Network segmentation and virtual local area networks are commonly used to enhance security and manage traffic flows within the on-premises infrastructure. Additionally, redundant network components and failover mechanisms ensure high availability and minimize downtime during hardware failures or maintenance activities. Effective data storage is another critical aspect of on-premises computing infrastructure. Organizations can choose from various storage technologies, including direct attached storage, network attached storage, and storage area networks. These solutions offer different performance, capacity, and scalability levels to meet the organization's data storage and retrieval needs. Let's examine these storage solutions closer. First, DAS systems connect storage devices, such as hard disk drives or solid-state drives, to servers. They provide high-performance access but limited scalability. Second, NAS devices provide centralized file storage that is accessible over the network. This offers improved scalability and data sharing capabilities. And third, SANs are dedicated high-speed networks connecting servers to storage arrays. They offer enterprise-grade performance, scalability, and advanced features like snapshots and replication. To choose and implement the right storage solutions, IT professionals must thoroughly assess the organization's data storage needs, including capacity, performance, availability, and backup needs. The last element of on-premises computing infrastructure relates to software. The infrastructure requires deploying and managing various software components, including operating systems, application servers, databases, and end-user applications. As an IT professional, you are responsible for making sure that software is properly licensed, configured, and updated to maintain security, compatibility, and optimal performance. Software deployment can be automated using tools and frameworks like configuration management systems, containerization technologies, and virtualization platforms. These tools enable consistent and repeatable deployments, streamline software updates and patches, and they facilitate the management of software dependencies across the on-premises infrastructure. You know that you will be responsible for software management, but what other responsibilities will you have? In addition to software management, IT professionals must ensure the seamless operation of servers, networks, and storage systems. This includes tasks such as hardware maintenance, performance monitoring, capacity planning, and troubleshooting. Furthermore, regular backups, disaster recovery planning, and business continuity strategies are essential to minimize downtime and protect against data loss or system failures. In summary, on-premises computing infrastructure offers organizations control, enhanced security, and customization. But it also requires careful planning, implementation, and ongoing maintenance. IT professionals play a crucial role in ensuring the successful design, deployment, and management of infrastructure components, enabling organizations to leverage the full potential of on-premises computing resources. Efficient data storage management is crucial for organizations using on-premises infrastructure to ensure seamless operations, data integrity, and scalability. With the ever-increasing volume of data generated by modern applications and systems, it is important to have robust and reliable storage solutions that meet the specific needs of a business. This video explores various data storage options available for on-premises environments. It provides insights into effective data storage management so that you, as an IT professional, can help your organization make the right decisions. Organizations today deal with diverse data types, each with its own storage requirements and characteristics. Understanding the nature of these is crucial when selecting and configuring appropriate on-premises storage solutions. The data types covered in this video include databases, documents, multimedia, large data sets, and backups and archives. First are transactional databases, data warehouses, and other structured data stores. Direct attached storage is the ideal storage solution for databases because it offers high-performance, low-latency storage that ensures optimal query response times and data processing capabilities. These features also make it suitable for video editing. DAS is a straightforward and cost-effective on-premises storage solution. Storage devices like hard disk drives or solid-state drives are directly connected to a single server or workstation through SATA, SAS, or USB interfaces. Some drawbacks of DAS are limitations in scalability and data availability. Since they are directly attached to the servers, expanding capacity or sharing data across multiple servers is challenging. If the host server fails, the data on the DAS devices becomes inaccessible. Next, Office documents, reports, presentations, and other unstructured textual data typically have moderate performance requirements, but they may require large storage capacities and efficient search and retrieval capabilities. These requirements make network-attached storage, or NAS, the best storage solution. It offers not only centralized file storage, but also efficient search and retrieval capabilities. NAS devices are dedicated storage appliances accessible by multiple clients, ideal for file sharing, backup, and collaboration. NAS offers easy data consolidation and simplified management. By pooling multiple drives into a single volume, NAS devices can provide larger usable capacities and enable seamless capacity expansion. These devices often include data protection features like RAID, which stands for Redundant Array of Independent Disks. RAID combines multiple drives for data redundancy, enhancing data resilience and recoverability. Third, multimedia like audio, video, and image files are storage intensive and require solutions optimized for sequential data access and streaming capabilities. DAS, or specialized NAS storage solutions, are best suited for this kind of data. Fourth, large data sets like scientific research, genomic data, and geospatial data require scalable, high-capacity storage systems capable of handling massive amounts of data efficiently. For these reasons, storage area networks, or SANs, offer the best enterprise-grade solution, providing data access to multiple servers and applications over a dedicated high-speed network. SANs consist of a network of storage devices like disk arrays or tape libraries connected to a server. They deliver high-performance, low-latency storage for mission-critical applications like databases, virtual machine environments, and high-performance computing workloads. There are advanced features like load balancing, failover capabilities, and centralized management to ensure data availability and reliability. SANs also allow scaling storage capacity and performance independently from connected servers, meeting growing storage demands seamlessly. Lastly, there are backup data and archive data sets. They frequently require cost-effective, high-capacity storage solutions with robust data protection features and long-term retention capabilities. Either NAS or SANs can be used as storage solutions. Next, let's discuss data storage management considerations you must consider to ensure optimal performance, protection, and efficient resource utilization. Let's focus on scalability and growth, capacity planning, performance optimization, data protection and backup, security and access control, and disaster recovery planning. Firstly, as an IT professional, you must consider your chosen storage solution's growth potential and scalability. Opt for storage solutions that seamlessly accommodate future capacity and performance requirements. This will minimize the need for disruptive migrations or replacements. Capacity planning is closely related to growth and scalability. To avoid unexpectedly running out of storage space, you should regularly monitor storage utilization and plan for future growth. It is also vital to implement proactive capacity planning strategies, such as setting alerts for high utilization thresholds and identifying opportunities for data archiving or deduplication. Next, you will also need to assess the performance requirements of your applications and workloads and configure your storage solutions accordingly. Factors like RAID levels, cache sizes, and network bandwidth can significantly impact storage performance. When it comes to data protection and backups, there are some key strategies. These include regular backups, snapshots, and replication to safeguard your organization's critical data against potential data loss or corruption scenarios. You also need to consider security and access control. To protect data from unauthorized access, modification, or theft, organizations should implement suitable security measures like access controls, encryption, and auditing. Lastly, there should be a comprehensive disaster recovery plan with procedures for restoring data and resuming operations during a catastrophic failure or natural disaster. This plan may involve off-site backups, replication to secondary sites, or cloud-based disaster recovery solutions. As an IT professional, you must evaluate your organization's data storage needs. Following your evaluation, you must select appropriate on-premises storage solutions and implement effective management practices. In doing so, you can ensure efficient data management, high availability, and optimal performance for critical applications and workloads. In the modern workplace, the lines between personal and professional lives are increasingly blurred. For example, Maya is a marketing executive at a prominent company. As she arrives at the office each morning, her smartphone is already a hub of activity, seamlessly transitioning from her personal life to her work responsibilities. With her company's Bring Your Own Device, or BYOD policy, Maya can access corporate resources, collaborate with colleagues, and stay productive using her preferred personal device. In this video, you will learn about the essentials of a BYOD policy, like the one Maya's company follows. This will help you assist your organization in creating BYOD policies and support the users who bring their own devices to the office. The BYOD phenomenon has been driven by the widespread use of personal devices and the growing need for workplace flexibility and mobility. Employees often prefer using their own devices because they're familiar with them and find it more convenient. This trend has gained momentum as organizations seek to improve productivity, reduce hardware costs, and cater to the preferences of tech-savvy employees. BYOD policy has several benefits for organizations. It allows for increased productivity, cost savings, employee satisfaction, and improved work-life balance. It also enables faster adoption of new technologies, reduced IT support costs, increased mobility and collaboration, and energy efficiency. Let's examine all of these. Organizations can potentially enhance productivity by allowing employees to use their personal devices, which they are comfortable with. BYOD can also reduce hardware costs for organizations, as employees bear the expense of purchasing and maintaining their own devices. Furthermore, offering employees the flexibility to use their preferred devices can improve job satisfaction and contribute to a positive work culture. And BYOD enables employees to work from anywhere, using devices they are comfortable with, promoting better work-life balance and flexibility. As employees bring their own cutting-edge devices to work, organizations can stay up to date with the latest technologies without significant hardware investments. And with employees using their own devices, organizations can potentially reduce IT support costs associated with procuring, maintaining, and supporting corporate-owned devices. Very importantly, BYOD allows employees to access corporate resources and collaborate with colleagues from anywhere, fostering a more mobile and connected workforce. And lastly, personal devices are often more energy efficient than traditional desktop computers. This contributes to environmental sustainability and potential cost savings for organizations. While BYOD offers advantages, it also introduces significant challenges, particularly in on-premises computing environments. First, personal devices may lack proper security measures, making them vulnerable to malware, data breaches, and other cyber threats. Securing these devices becomes crucial to protect the organization's network and data. Second, ensuring data privacy and compliance with industry regulations can be challenging when employees use personal devices for work purposes. Organizations must implement strict policies and controls to safeguard sensitive data. Third, BYOD can strain network resources and bandwidth, as personal devices may consume more data and require additional network configurations. Fourth, supporting a wide range of personal devices with different operating systems, hardware specifications, and software versions can be daunting for IT teams. To mitigate the challenges and maximize the benefits of BYOD in on-premises computing environments, organizations should consider the following best practices. They should establish clear guidelines and policies that outline acceptable use, security requirements, data protection measures, and consequences for non-compliance. Implementing mobile device management, or MDM solutions, enables IT teams to secure, monitor, and manage personal devices accessing corporate resources. Doing this ensures data protection and policy enforcement. Furthermore, enforcing robust authentication methods, such as multi-factor authentication, and leveraging virtual private networks secures remote access to on-premises resources. And using containerization or virtualization technologies to separate corporate data from personal data on employees' devices enhances data security and facilitates remote wipe capabilities. By educating employees on BYOD policies, best practices, and their responsibilities helps maintain device security and data protection. Finally, continuously monitoring BYOD activities, updating security measures, and adapting policies address emerging threats and evolving technology landscapes. In summary, by adopting the BYOD trend and implementing security measures, organizations can harness the benefits of BYOD while minimizing risks in their on-premises computing environments. Effective BYOD management requires collaboration between IT teams, employees, and management to ensure a secure and productive workplace. As the world becomes increasingly conscious of technology's impact on the environment, the need for energy-efficient and sustainable practices in on-premises computing infrastructure has become a pressing concern. The physical hardware of on-premises infrastructure consumes significant amounts of energy and generates heat, contributing to an organization's overall carbon footprint. Implementing energy-efficient and sustainable practices in on-premises infrastructure helps reduce the environmental impact and offers substantial cost savings and operational benefits. This video will demonstrate how organizations can lower their energy bills, extend the lifespan of their hardware, and improve overall system performance by optimizing energy consumption and adopting eco-friendly technologies. One of the fundamental strategies for improving energy efficiency and sustainability in on-premises infrastructure is adopting green computing practices. Green computing involves implementing environmentally responsible policies and practices throughout the life cycle of computing equipment, from procurement and operation to disposal. Let's examine some ways in which organizations can do this. First, choosing energy-efficient hardware components is a crucial step in building a sustainable on-premises infrastructure. Modern processors, solid-state drives or SSDs, and other components are designed to consume less power while delivering high performance. Additionally, organizations should consider virtualization technologies, which allow multiple virtual machines to run on a single physical server. This reduces the overall hardware footprint and energy consumption. Also, implementing effective power management strategies can significantly reduce energy consumption. This includes configuring servers, workstations, and other devices to enter low power or sleep modes when idle, and using advanced power management features provided by modern operating systems and hardware. Furthermore, regularly auditing and consolidating on-premises infrastructure components can help identify and eliminate redundant or underutilized resources. Organizations can also reduce the overall energy consumption and cooling requirements by consolidating workloads onto fewer, more efficient servers. Essential cooling components and power systems are a particularly important green computing practice. Their efficient operation is crucial for energy savings and sustainability. Cooling systems in data centers and server rooms consume a significant amount of energy. Implementing efficient cooling strategies, such as hot-cold aisle containment, free cooling, in other words, using outside air, and liquid cooling, can significantly reduce the energy required for cooling while still maintaining optimal operating temperatures for the hardware. When it comes to power systems, incorporating renewable energy sources, such as solar panels or wind turbines, can significantly reduce the carbon footprint of on-premises infrastructure. Additionally, organizations can explore the possibility of purchasing renewable energy credits or participating in carbon offset programs to further mitigate their environmental impact. Optimizing power distribution within on-premises infrastructure is also essential for energy efficiency. This includes implementing high-efficiency power supplies, utilizing intelligent power distribution units, and implementing energy monitoring and management systems to identify and address power consumption inefficiencies. Beyond traditional energy efficiency measures, organizations can also explore and implement eco-friendly technologies that further reduce the environmental impact of on-premises infrastructure. Implementing a comprehensive recycling and reuse program for obsolete or end-of-life hardware can significantly reduce electronic waste and its associated environmental impact. Organizations should partner with certified e-waste recyclers and refurbishers to ensure proper disposal and recycling of hardware components. Choosing hardware components and equipment that are manufactured using sustainable materials and eco-friendly packaging can further reduce the environmental impact of on-premises infrastructure. Many vendors are now offering products with recycled or biodegradable materials, minimizing the use of harmful substances and reducing waste. Finally, implementing environmental monitoring and reporting systems can help organizations track and measure their progress towards sustainability goals. These systems can provide real-time data on energy consumption, carbon emissions, and other environmental indicators. This makes it possible for organizations to make data-driven decisions by identifying areas for improvement. IT professionals and support specialists are responsible for educating and guiding users within an organization on the importance of energy efficiency and sustainability of on-premises infrastructure. By promoting best practices, encouraging eco-friendly solutions, and fostering a culture of environmental awareness, you can play a crucial role in creating a greener and more sustainable future for organizations and the planet alike. Cloud computing is a technology that allows you to access and use computing resources such as storage, processing power, and software applications over the internet. Enterprises can rent these resources from cloud service providers, as needed rather than investing in hardware and maintaining it themselves. Because of this, cloud computing has emerged as a game changer, providing on-demand access to powerful computing resources without needing expensive hardware or dedicated IT staff. This video will demonstrate how cloud computing can benefit an organization. Let's explore how the public cloud works. The public cloud is a computing service model offered by third-party providers that delivers resources over the internet. These resources are accessible from anywhere with internet connectivity, and they're shared among multiple users. Imagine a small e-commerce company that experiences a significant surge in website traffic during the holiday shopping season. With traditional on-premises infrastructure, they would need to invest in additional servers, storage, and networking equipment to handle the increased demand, which can be costly and time-consuming. However, with cloud computing using the public cloud, the company can quickly provision additional computing resources from their cloud service provider to handle the traffic spike. This ability to quickly scale up resources is called rapid elasticity. A related concept is resource pooling. This is when the cloud provider pools computing resources from multiple data centers and dynamically allocates them to different customers based on their needs. During the peak shopping period, the e-commerce company can automatically provision more resources to ensure their website remains responsive and accessible to customers. This self-service provisioning of resources without human intervention is called on-demand self-service. The company only pays for the resources it consumes during this period, following a pay-as-you-go model. The cloud services are accessible over the network, providing broad network access to the company's website and applications. This allows customers to shop from various devices and locations. Once the holiday season is over and traffic subsides, the company can scale back its resources, paying only for what it consumed during the peak period. The cloud provider's metering capabilities track resource usage, allowing for measured service and accurate billing. The provider also ensures reliability through high availability and fault tolerance throughout this process by leveraging multiple redundant data centers. This minimizes downtime. Now let's turn our attention to private and hybrid clouds. The private cloud is a cloud computing model where computing services and infrastructure are maintained on a private network dedicated solely to one organization. And a hybrid cloud, as the name suggests, is a combination of private and public clouds. Consider a large enterprise with diverse computing needs. This enterprise requires a highly secure and customizable environment for its core business applications, while also leveraging cost-effective public cloud services for other tasks. To meet these requirements, the enterprise adopts a hybrid cloud approach. It does so by combining a private cloud for its sensitive data and mission-critical applications. The private cloud infrastructure, hosted on-premises or by a third-party provider, gives the enterprise greater control, security, and customization options. And for non-critical workloads and development environments, the organization can make use of the cost-effective public cloud. Now that you've learned about the different types of cloud deployment, let's explore cloud service models. Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS cloud computing, offers virtualized computing resources, such as servers, storage, networks, and operating systems. With IaaS, the enterprise can provision and manage these resources on demand, giving them the flexibility to scale their infrastructure as needed, while the cloud provider manages the underlying hardware and data center facilities. The Platform as a Service, or PaaS cloud computing model, provides a complete platform for developing, running, and managing applications. In this model, the cloud service provider offers a pre-configured environment with development tools, databases, middleware, and other necessary components. This enables developers to focus on building and deploying applications without worrying about setting up and maintaining the underlying infrastructure. The cloud provider handles software updates, security patches, and scalability tasks. Lastly, there is Software as a Service, or SaaS, a cloud computing model in which applications are hosted by a third-party provider. Within the public cloud, the enterprise can use offerings like Office productivity suites, collaboration tools, and customer support software, reducing the need for on-premises software installations and maintenance. Organizations can employ all three of these service models in a multi-cloud approach. By utilizing IaaS and PaaS models in a private cloud environment, an enterprise can maintain control over sensitive data and critical applications. For non-critical applications, such as development and testing environments, an enterprise can leverage flexible, scalable, and cost-efficient public cloud services from multiple providers. This multi-cloud strategy helps them avoid vendor lock-in and optimize their cloud resources based on specific service requirements or pricing models. By adopting this approach, by combining services like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS from different providers, the enterprise can ensure compliance with regulatory requirements and maintain control over sensitive data. This strategy also allows them to take advantage of the cost-effectiveness and scalability of public cloud services for non-critical workloads. In conclusion, by understanding the basics of cloud computing, its various services, deployment models, and key benefits, you can determine how it can benefit your organization, whether it's a small business, a large enterprise, or an individual user. Serverless computing is a groundbreaking approach in cloud computing, where the cloud provider automatically handles the server allocation and provisioning. In this model, developers don't need to manage and host dedicated servers or virtual machines. They write and deploy code, and the provider handles the rest, including server provisioning and maintenance. This video will teach you about the fundamentals, advantages, and limitations of serverless computing in cloud environments. Serverless computing may seem like magic. You simply write your code, and the cloud provider executes it without you having to manage any servers. But what's really happening behind the scenes? Let's explore. Imagine you want to create a simple website that sends a notification email whenever someone fills out a contact form. Instead of running that logic on a server you maintain, you can deploy just the code for sending the email notification as a serverless function to a cloud provider like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. A serverless function is a small piece of code that runs in a compute service like the cloud without the need for provisioning or managing servers. These functions are triggered by specific events, such as HTTP requests, database changes, or scheduled tasks. Another example could be creating a serverless function that resizes and compresses images uploaded to a website or mobile app. Instead of running image processing code on a server, you can deploy an image transformer function. This function runs whenever a new image is uploaded, automatically performing the resizing and compression without any server management overhead. When you deploy serverless code or functions to the cloud provider creates an execution environment tailored specifically for running your code. This environment contains everything needed to run your function, including an operating system, language runtime, for example, Node.js or Python, and any dependencies or libraries your code needs. This execution environment is a lightweight, temporary compute instance created on demand. When a configured event trigger occurs, like an HTTP request or file upload, the provider plucks one of these pre-configured environments from a pool and loads your code into it for execution. While the code runs, the provider dynamically allocates just the right amount of underlying compute resources like CPU, memory, and networking. After completion, the environment is quickly shut down, and those resources are freed for other functions. The key innovation is this automatic allocation and deallocation of execution environments. You don't over-provision capacity for peaks or pay for idle virtual machines during troughs. The platform spins up environments only as needed for each invocation. To understand optimal performance and responsiveness, it's crucial to know about how serverless functions are initiated under different conditions, known as hot, warm, and cold starts. These starts refer to the state of the execution environment when a function is invoked. A hot start is when an existing execution environment is already running and ready to execute the function code, resulting in the fastest startup times. A warm start occurs when the provider has an initialized execution environment, but it's not currently running. It needs to be woken up and set up before executing the function, making it slower than a hot start, but still relatively quick. If no suitable environments are available, The provider must create a new cold environment from scratch, provisioning resources, setting up the OS and runtime, and initializing dependencies. This cold start process takes the longest and can potentially cause higher latencies. Because the different starts can significantly affect function responsiveness and consistency, cloud providers implement various strategies. These include pre-warming environments and maintaining warm pools to minimize cold starts and their performance impact on latency-sensitive serverless applications. There are several benefits to serverless computing, so let's examine some of them now. Serverless computing can significantly reduce infrastructure costs, especially for applications with unpredictable or intermittent workloads. You only pay for the resources consumed during execution and not for idle capacity. Furthermore, with serverless computing, developers can quickly build and deploy applications without worrying about infrastructure provisioning and management, allowing for faster iteration and time to market. And cloud providers automatically scale serverless functions to handle increased workloads, ensuring high availability and elastic scalability without any manual intervention. Developers are also freed from responsibilities like server provisioning, patching, and capacity planning, enabling them to concentrate on coding and enhancing business outcomes. And finally, serverless computing offers granular billing based on the exact resource consumed and execution time, enabling precise cost tracking and optimization. Due to these advantages, serverless computing is well suited for a wide range of use cases. These include APIs and real-time file processing, IoT and mobile backends, data processing and analytics, and scheduled tasks and job processing. There are also some limitations that you should consider. First, when a function is invoked after a period of inactivity, it may experience a delay due to the need to spin up a new execution environment. Second, serverless offerings from different cloud providers may have varying capabilities and vendor-specific configurations, potentially leading to vendor lock-in. Third, debugging and monitoring serverless applications can be more challenging than traditional models, as the cloud provider manages the execution environment. And fourth, designing and managing serverless applications can introduce architectural complexities. As an IT professional, understanding serverless computing will enable you to guide your organization toward adopting this innovative model, which promises to simplify application development, reduce operational overhead, and optimize costs for many workloads. These days, many organizations have embraced cloud computing to meet their ever-growing computational needs. However, the true potential of cloud services can only be fully realized when coupled with automation strategies. Cloud automation, a vital aspect of modern cloud computing, empowers organizations to automate operations, enhance efficiency, achieve unprecedented scalability, and avoid manual efforts. At its core, cloud automation relies on software tools and technologies to streamline the provisioning, management, and maintenance of cloud resources. This process eliminates the need for manual intervention, reducing human error and enabling organizations to respond swiftly to changing business demands. By automating repetitive tasks, cloud automation saves valuable time and resources and ensures consistent and reliable execution of processes. Let's explore some of its benefits. One of the primary benefits of cloud automation is that it simplifies the deployment and management of cloud services. Through automated provisioning, organizations can rapidly spin up new virtual machines, containers, or other cloud resources with pre-configured settings and configurations. This efficient process guarantees uniform deployment across various environments, minimizing the chance of configuration drift and improving overall reliability. Furthermore, cloud automation plays a crucial role in enabling scalability, a key advantage of cloud computing. As workloads fluctuate, whether due to seasonal demands or unexpected spikes in traffic, automation allows organizations to dynamically scale their cloud resources up or down. This scaling ensures that resources are optimized to meet the current demand, preventing over or under provisioning, and ultimately leading to improved performance and cost savings. Cloud automation helps organizations scale resources based on the usage patterns of internal applications or virtual machines. For instance, If a significant number of employees need to use a resource-intensive application like video editing software or virtual machines for data analysis during specific periods, automation can seamlessly provision additional cloud resources to handle the increased demand. Conversely, when usage drops, resources can be scaled back down to avoid unnecessary costs. This flexibility ensures that employees always have access to the computing power they need while optimizing resource utilization and costs for an organization. Another significant benefit of cloud automation is its ability to enhance monitoring and incident response. By leveraging automated monitoring tools, organizations can proactively detect and respond to potential issues, such as resource utilization spikes, security breaches, or performance degradation. Automated remediation actions can be triggered, minimizing downtime and ensuring uninterrupted service delivery. Cloud automation also contributes to improved security and compliance. Automated processes can enforce consistent security policies, patch management, and configuration management across all cloud resources. This approach reduces the risk of human error and ensures that organizations adhere to industry standards and regulatory requirements. Implementing cloud automation requires a comprehensive strategy that aligns with the organization's specific needs and requirements. This may involve leveraging infrastructure as code, or IAC tools. IAC is important for cloud automation. It lets organizations set up and manage their cloud infrastructure through simple written descriptions. These descriptions are stored in version control, making it easy to track changes and ensure consistency. IAC tools like Terraform and CloudFormation provide a consistent and repeatable way to set up, provision, and configure cloud resources. This ensures that infrastructure is consistently deployed across multiple environments, reduces the risk of configuration drift, and facilitates efficient collaboration between teams. Additionally, organizations can use tools like Ansible, Puppet, and Chef to automate the deployment and maintenance of applications and services within their cloud environments. These tools enable organizations to define desired configurations, manage software dependencies, and ensure consistent application deployments across multiple cloud instances, reducing the risk of manual errors, thereby improving overall reliability and scalability. Integrating these tools with continuous integration and continuous delivery practices further streamlines the software development and deployment process. Automated build, testing, and deployment pipelines can be established, enabling organizations to rapidly and reliably deploy applications and updates to their cloud environments. This ensures consistency and minimizes downtime. Finally, to fully embrace the benefits of cloud automation, organizations must foster a culture of automation and encourage collaboration between development, operations, and security teams. This DevOps approach ensures seamless integration and alignment of processes, enabling organizations to rapidly adapt to changing business needs while maintaining high levels of efficiency, reliability, and security. Automation equips organizations with the agility, cost-effectiveness, and competitive edge necessary to thrive in today's dynamic business landscape. It streamlines operations, enables scalability, enhances monitoring and incident response, and fortifies security and compliance. In conclusion, cloud automation empowers organizations to unlock the true potential of their cloud infrastructure. Server communication is a complex yet fundamental aspect of networking that involves several key processes and technologies to ensure efficient, secure, and reliable data exchange between clients and servers. This video guides you through the details of server communication so that you, as an IT professional, can provide better support and fix issues when necessary. There are numerous reasons why one might need to communicate with a server. For instance, you may need to remotely log into the server to manage its installed applications and settings, ensuring that everything is configured correctly and running smoothly. Or you might want to transfer files between your local machine and the server, whether you're uploading new content or backing up existing data. Sending and receiving emails through server-based email applications is another common requirement, as is accessing and manipulating data stored in database software running on a server. Let's turn our attention to how server communication works. Server communication typically begins when an application on the server opens a specific port to listen for incoming data or instructions. This data may arrive in various forms, such as plain text or encrypted payloads. Once data is received, the server processes it, requiring authentication to verify the client's identity and permissions. After successful processing and authentication, the server responds back to the client through the same connection. This process ensures both the security of the data exchanged and the reliability of the communication channel. Let's examine some of the most common applications that people use to communicate with servers. Secure Shell, or SSH tools, are used for secure remote access. SSH is critical for administering servers remotely, ensuring that data remains encrypted and secure from unauthorized access. These tools not only allow secure command line access, but also enable secure file transfers and remote script execution. PuTTY is a widely used SSH client that supports several network protocols. It's known for its simplicity, flexibility, and availability on various platforms. Another tool, OpenSSH, is a suite of security-related network-level utilities based on the SSH protocol. It provides secure encrypted communications between two untrusted hosts over an insecure network. Transferring files between a client and a server is another common and vital operation. Various tools and protocols ensure secure and efficient file transfers, with File Transfer Protocol, or FTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol, also known as SFTP, and rsync being among the most prominent. FTP is one of the oldest protocols for network file transfers. It allows users to upload and download files from a server. However, it lacks encryption, making it less suitable for transferring sensitive data. SFTP enhances data transmission over FTP by securing it with SSH encryption. This protects data, making it ideal for sensitive communication across potentially insecure networks. FileZilla and WinSCP are two popular file transfer software millions use daily. Next is rsync, a fast, versatile, remote and local file copying tool. It employs a delta transfer method that minimizes data transmission by sending only the changes between the source and destination files over the network. This makes rsync an efficient tool for synchronizing files and directories between two locations. Finally, we have web technologies, WebSocket, and email protocols, which are fundamental components of modern server communication. They enable dynamic interaction between servers and clients across the Internet, facilitating everything from web browsing and real-time data exchange to essential email communications. First, there's Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP, the backbone of web communication. It is primarily used to transmit web pages by following a request-response model. It facilitates data transfer in various formats like HTML, JSON, and plain text, making it versatile for web browsing and API interactions. Additionally, keep-alive mechanisms in HTTP can maintain a connection open for multiple requests, reducing the overhead of re-establishing connections. Next, WebSocket provides a bidirectional or full duplex communication channel that remains open for real-time data exchange between a client and a server. This is ideal for applications requiring persistent connections, such as live notifications and interactive games, as it significantly reduces latency compared to traditional HTTP connections. Server communication sometimes requires maintaining these persistent connections across networked environments to ensure continuous data flow without the need for reconnecting. Finally, email uses communication protocols such as Simple Mail Transfer Protocol for sending messages and Post Office Protocol version 3 or Internet Message Access Protocol for retrieving them. SMTP facilitates the direct transmission of emails across networks, while POP3 allows emails to be downloaded to a client's device. And IMAP enables emails to be accessed from multiple devices by keeping them stored on the server. This is essential for both personal and professional communications, as well as supporting features like attachments and multiple recipients. In summary, IT professionals must understand server communication tools and technologies. Knowing these tools and technologies helps them effectively manage server communication, ensuring secure, efficient, and reliable data exchange across networks. The evolution of web technologies has continuously made the Internet faster, more secure, and more efficient. One significant milestone in this journey is the introduction of HTTP/2 in 2015, a major revision of the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP/2 was developed by the Internet Engineering Task Force's HTTP Working Group. It improved the HTTP 1.1 protocol standard to better adapt to modern web usage patterns. This protocol, which is the backbone of data communication on the World Wide Web, has undergone several transformations since its inception. This video will explore the inception of HTTP/2, its features, benefits, and implementation aspects. Before we discuss HTTP/2 in detail, it's essential to understand the motivations behind its development. HTTP 1.1, which has been in use since 1997, was designed for a simpler web era where web pages were primarily composed of HTML documents with minimal multimedia content. However, modern websites are far more complex, often incorporating various resources such as style sheets, scripts, images, and other multimedia elements. HTTP 1.1 has several limitations that can impact performance, particularly in scenarios where multiple resources must be fetched from the same server. These limitations include inefficient multiplexing due to head-of-line blocking. Multiplexing allows for multiple connections to be established between a client and a server. But in HTTP 1.1, resources are fetched sequentially, meaning that if one resource is taking a long time to load, subsequent resources must wait their turn, leading to delays in page rendering. There is also a lack of header compression. HTTP headers contain metadata about the communication, and in HTTP 1.1, these headers are sent uncompressed, leading to increased overhead and slower page load times. HTTP/2 addresses these limitations and introduces several new features and improvements to enhance the overall web experience. Here are some key features of HTTP/2. The first is binary protocol. Unlike HTTP 1.1, it uses binary framing rather than textual. This binary format makes it more efficient to parse, less error-prone, and easier to extend. Second is multiplexing. Multiple requests are allowed over the same connection simultaneously, effectively ending the problem of head-of-line blocking seen in HTTP 1.1, where a single slow request could block others behind it. The third is server push. This feature allows a server to send resources proactively. That is, it can push responses to the client ahead of the actual request. This anticipates the needs of an application, reducing waiting times for subsequent requests. Fourth is header compression. Since headers often contain a significant amount of redundancy, compressing them can improve performance. The fifth and last is stream prioritization. Clients can prioritize requests, letting their server know which resources they need first. This helps in optimizing the overall utilization of the available bandwidth. The adoption of HTTP/2 brings numerous benefits, particularly in terms of web performance and efficiency. There is reduced latency. By allowing multiplexing and using header compression, HTTP/2 significantly cuts down the time it takes to load web pages compared to HTTP 1.1. There is also improved connection use. A single transmission control protocol, or TCP connection, can be fully utilized, which reduces the overhead of using multiple TCP connections. HTTP/2 also offers enhanced security through encryption. Although it does not inherently require HTTPS, most browsers have made HTTPS a prerequisite for using HTTP/2, indirectly promoting better security practices. And lastly is lower resource consumption. HTTP/2's server push reduces the need for multiple requests between the server and the client, thereby decreasing the load on server resources and improving response times. HTTP/2 represents a significant step forward in the development of the web's fundamental protocols. By understanding and implementing it, IT professionals can ensure that their organizations benefit from faster, more efficient, and more secure web communications. As web technology continues to evolve, Staying abreast of such advancements is crucial in maintaining an edge in network management and user support. The Internet has come a long way since its inception, with web technologies constantly changing to meet users' growing demands. One such change is the introduction of HTTP/3, the latest version of HTTP, which has further improved web performance and security. Before getting into the details of HTTP/3, let's review the evolution of the HTTP protocol. HTTP 1.1, introduced in the late 90s, has served the Internet well, but with increasing demands for faster and more secure connections, it became necessary to develop a more efficient protocol. HTTP 2, introduced in 2015, significantly improved over HTTP 1.1, with features such as multiplexing, header compression, and server push. However, it still relies on TCP for data transmission, which has limitations, particularly in handling latency and packet loss. HTTP/3, Google's latest version of the protocol, addresses these limitations by implementing a new transport layer network protocol called Quick UDP Internet Connection, or QUIC. QUIC offers faster and more reliable connections to transmit data. To do so, it uses the User Datagram Protocol, or UDP, instead of TCP. Let's now turn our attention to the benefits of HTTP/3 and QUIC. The first is reduced latency. QUIC uses UDP instead of TCP, which means it can establish connections faster and reduce latency. This is because UDP does not require the three-way handshake TCP uses to establish connections. This reduced latency can lead to faster load times and improved user experience. Second is enhanced handling of packet loss. QUIC includes advanced congestion control algorithms that can handle packet loss more effectively than TCP. Packet loss is common on the modern Internet due to network congestion, and QUIC's ability to handle it efficiently can lead to improved reliability and performance. The third benefit is improved security. QUIC includes built-in encryption, making it more secure than TCP. This is particularly important for applications that require secure communication, such as e-commerce and online banking. With QUIC, every connection is encrypted, and the encryption keys are rotated regularly, making it more difficult for attackers to intercept and decrypt the data. Fourth is better connection migration. QUIC allows for better connection migration, meaning users can switch between networks without interrupting their connections. This is critical for applications requiring continuous connection, such as video streaming and online gaming. With QUIC, users can seamlessly switch between Wi-Fi and cellular networks without experiencing any interruptions. The fifth and last benefit is improved server push. HTTP/2 introduced server push, which allows servers to send resources to clients before they are requested. However, this feature can be unreliable due to head-of-line blocking in TCP. QUIC solves this problem by allowing multiplexed streams. This means multiple resources can be sent simultaneously without blocking each other. This leads to improved server push performance and faster load times. Implementing HTTP/3 and QUIC requires support from both the client and the server. Most modern web browsers, including Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and Mozilla Firefox, support HTTP/3 and QUIC. However, server-side support is still limited. Only a few web servers, such as Nginx and Apache, support HTTP/3 and QUIC. To implement HTTP/3 and QUIC, IT professionals must ensure that their web servers support the protocol. This may involve upgrading to a newer web server version or installing additional modules or plugins. Once the web server is configured to support HTTP/3 and QUIC, IT professionals can test the implementation using tools such as curl, webpagetest.org, or Lighthouse. These tools can help identify implementation issues and provide insights into the performance benefits of HTTP/3 and QUIC. In conclusion, HTTP/3 and QUIC represent the future of web performance and security, delivering faster and more reliable Internet connections. By implementing it, IT professionals can improve the user experience on their organization's websites and applications, providing a competitive advantage in today's fast-paced world. As you now know, the domain name system is a critical part of the Internet's infrastructure. It acts as a global distributed directory that translates human-friendly domain names into machine-readable IP addresses. This video aims to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of DNS and its role in enabling seamless communication between servers and clients. DNS is sometimes called the phone book of the Internet. If DNS didn't exist, users would have to remember IP addresses, long strings of numbers, to access websites and online services, making the Internet virtually unusable. Just as a traditional phone book maps names and addresses to telephone numbers, DNS maps domain names to their corresponding IP addresses. This mapping is essential because computers communicate using IP addresses, while humans prefer to use easy-to-remember domain names. Let's explore what exactly happens in the DNS resolution process. First is the client query. When a user attempts to access a website or online service, their client, in this case a web browser, initiates the DNS resolution process by sending a query to a recursive name server, usually provided by their internet service provider or configured on their local network. In other words, the client sends a DNS query to the recursive name server, asking for the IP address associated with the domain name they want to access. Next, the recursive name server first checks its cache to see if it has a recent mapping for the requested domain name. If found, it returns the IP address to the client. If the recursive name server doesn't have the mapping in its cache, it sends a query to one of the root servers asking for the IP address of the top-level domain, or TLD name server, responsible for the requested domain, such as .com, .net, or .org. After receiving the TLD name server's IP address from the root server, the recursive name server sends a query to the TLD name server. This query asks for the IP address of the authoritative name server for the requested domain. The recursive name server caches the IP address and returns it to the client, allowing the client to establish a connection with the desired server. This resolution process happens quickly, often within milliseconds, thanks to caching mechanisms and the distributed nature of the DNS infrastructure. Let's move on to DNS records and resource records. DNS stores information in the form of resource records, or RRs, which are data entries that map domain names to various types of information. The most common types of resource records include A records, which map a domain name to an IPv4 address. The A stands for address. AAAA records map a domain name to an IPv6 address. The 4 A's represent the fourfold increase in address space from IPv4. CNAME, or canonical name records, alias one domain name to another domain name. When you set up a CNAME record, you are directing traffic that goes from one domain to another domain. For example, if you have a domain and you want it to point to another domain without needing to enter the actual IP address, you use a CNAME record. This is especially useful for managing subdomains like www, ensuring they point to the same address as the main site without duplicating entries. Mail exchange records specify the mail servers responsible for handling email for a domain. Name server records specify the authoritative name servers for a domain. And text records store arbitrary text-based data, often used for various purposes like email security and domain ownership verification. These records are stored and managed by authoritative name servers, enabling the translation of domain names into various types of information required for different Internet services. The next thing you need to know about DNS is DNS zones. A DNS zone is a specific portion of the domain namespace managed by a specific organization or administrator. DNS zones ensure a distributed and scalable system for managing and resolving domain names across the Internet, enabling seamless communication between servers and clients. A zone contains a collection of resource records that define the mappings between domain names and various types of information, such as IP addresses, mail servers, and name servers. Each one has authoritative name servers responsible for storing and serving the resource records within that zone. Lastly, DNS is a critical component of the Internet's infrastructure, so it is a potential attack vector for cyber threats. DNS cache poisoning, DNS amplification attacks, and DNS hijacking are some of the security risks associated with DNS. IT professionals should implement appropriate security measures such as DNS security extensions and secure DNS resolvers. This is to ensure the integrity and authenticity of DNS data and mitigate risks. To summarize, the domain name system is indispensable for navigating the Internet. It turns user-friendly domain names into IP addresses necessary for network communication. This system ensures that Internet browsing is user-friendly and efficient, with a structure that supports quick resolutions and precise navigation. IT professionals must thoroughly understand DNS to effectively manage and troubleshoot network and Internet-related issues within their organizations. Congratulations on completing this module. Throughout, you've engaged with critical aspects of computing environments, tackling subjects from the specifics of on-premises computing to the dynamics of cloud infrastructure and server communications. After completing the module, you should now be able to explain the foundational aspects and benefits of on-premises computing, as well as its limitations compared to cloud models, describe different cloud computing types, their practical applications, and considerations for security, and discuss server communication technologies and tools, including their roles, functionalities, and security measures. Let's recap what you've covered. In the first part of the module, you investigated the architecture and critical components of on-premises computing. This included understanding server hardware, network setups, data storage solutions, and how these elements combine to provide a controlled and customizable computing environment. You also learned about the comparative advantages and challenges of on-premises versus cloud models, examining factors like cost, scalability, control, and security. And you examined various data storage solutions, such as SANs, NAS, and DAS, covering capacity planning and performance optimization. You also tackled the bring your own device trend, examining its implications for on-premises settings, including security challenges and network management strategies. Furthermore, you considered strategies for improving energy efficiency and sustainability in on-premises computing infrastructure. Security optimizations were also discussed, focusing on physical security measures, network security protocols, access controls, and data protection practices. In the second part of the module, your focus shifted to cloud computing. You began by gaining a foundational understanding of cloud services, including infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. You explored the nuances of public, private, and hybrid cloud models, learning about their specific use cases and the balance of scalability, control, and security each offers. Additionally, you were introduced to serverless computing, where you learned about the benefits of this cloud model and its challenges, including potential vendor lock-in and operational limitations. What's more, the module covered cloud automation and its role in improving efficiency in various cloud operations, like service deployment, scalable adjustments, and infrastructure monitoring. Lastly, you examined key security considerations and best practices in cloud computing environments, such as data encryption, identity and access management, and physical security. In the third part of the module, your focus turned to server communication. You gained knowledge about various tools and technologies that facilitate secure and efficient data exchange across networks. This included understanding FTP for file transfers and SSH for secure remote access. Plus, you also learned about essential communication protocols, such as IMAP, exploring their roles and functionalities in data exchange. Then you were introduced to the features, benefits, and implementation of the HTTP 1.1, HTTP 2, and HTTP 3 and QUIC web protocols. For example, the benefits of HTTP 3 include reduced latency and enhanced packet loss handling, which are critical for improving user experience on the Internet. You also investigated security best practices for server communication, learning how to mitigate common threats such as interception and eavesdropping. And finally, you also learned about the domain name system and its role in server communication, translating human-friendly domain names into IP addresses that computers can use to communicate. And you explored the process of DNS resolution, which details how a query travels through various DNS servers to find the correct IP address. With a focus on both theoretical understanding and practical application, You are now equipped to make informed decisions about computing infrastructures and ensure their operational security and efficiency. As you ready yourself to test your knowledge in the module quiz, remember that the resources in this module are always available should you need to review any concepts to reinforce your understanding. Best of luck as you move forward to the quiz. Well done on reaching the final part of the course. The purpose of this course was to equip you with essential skills and knowledge to protect digital environments and securely manage data across various platforms. After completing the course, you should now be able to apply strategies for digital security and privacy management, evaluate and implement cybersecurity measures, and describe elements of various computing environments. This recap provides an overview of what you've covered, helping you solidify your understanding and identify areas you might want to revisit before starting the final activity and assessment. Let's begin. In the first part of the course, you tackled robust password management strategies. You learned how to create strong, secure passwords, and you discovered the importance of avoiding password reuse across multiple accounts due to the increased risk of cyber attacks. The course also introduced multi-factor authentication as a vital security layer, which substantially reduces the likelihood of unauthorized access. An intriguing aspect of this module was distinguishing between the dark and deep webs and understanding their implications for privacy and security. The deep web consists of parts of the internet with secure and legitimate information that are not indexed by standard search engines. In contrast, the dark web is a small, intentionally hidden portion of the deep web, primarily associated with criminal activities and only accessible through specialized software. You learned how personal information could be compromised on the dark web and the importance of employing password managers to manage digital credentials securely. In this part of the course, you also learned about passwordless authentication systems and how such technologies like biometric verification, security tokens, mobile device authentication, and email login links can counter common attack vectors. Moving on, you addressed software privacy settings. For example, how to manage and adjust privacy settings in operating systems like Windows and Mac OS. Here, you learned how to navigate complex settings to enhance personal security. You explored encryption tools like BitLocker and FileVault, investigating how they secure data and the mechanisms behind their functionality. This section furthered the discussion on biometric identification and its privacy risks. This is particularly relevant in today's technology-driven world. You examined how biometric data is used and the privacy risks associated with its storage and use, learning strategies to safeguard such sensitive information effectively. But you didn't just cover biometric privacy. You also learned about best practices to avoid privacy pitfalls across various platforms and devices, including cloud services and IoT devices. The focus then shifted to password managers. Specifically, you learned about Credential Manager, Keychain, and Keyring functionalities across different operating systems. Troubleshooting common issues with password managers provided insights into the practical challenges and solutions for maintaining security in digital credential management. And you went into detail about best practices for managing and updating passwords stored in password managers, emphasizing the importance of regular updates to enhance security. You also explored password portability, learning techniques for transferring password storage solutions across platforms and devices, which is crucial for maintaining security in a multi-device environment. Switching gears, you moved on to cybersecurity concepts, where you tackled network security and VPNs. You began by identifying key network ports and the risks associated with open ports, learning strategies to secure them against unauthorized access. Another significant topic was network traffic management. You examined different types of network traffic and their properties. The role of network segmentation in managing network traffic effectively in both home and office settings was also covered, teaching you to optimize network performance and security. VPNs were discussed in detail, particularly their role in enhancing security for online activities. You learned about the different VPN protocols, their encryption standards, and how to choose the right VPN service for personal or professional use. Troubleshooting was also covered, which helped you identify and solve common issues encountered while using VPNs. For example, connection drops and slow performance. In the third part of the course, you examined various computing environments, including on-premises and cloud infrastructures, as well as server communication. In relation to on-premises infrastructure, you learned about how to securely manage data storage solutions on-premises. You also explored the bring your own device trend, where employees use their own personal devices for work purposes. You learned about the challenges and benefits of bringing your own device in an on-premises setting, including security, network management, and policy enforcement. Furthermore, you covered energy efficiency and sustainability in on-premises infrastructure, like green computing practices and eco-friendly technologies. Next, you gained a foundational understanding of cloud computing, exploring the services offered and the key security considerations for protecting digital assets in the cloud. You learned about public, private, and hybrid cloud deployments and how the different setups benefit different organizations, from small businesses to large enterprises. Cloud automation was also discussed, and how this essential aspect of modern cloud computing greatly enhances operational efficiency and scalability. Server communication was another crucial focal area. You learned about communication protocols and technologies that facilitate secure and efficient server communication, and about threats that can compromise server communication, like interception and eavesdropping, and what best practices and security measures protect against these threats, like encryption, secure protocols, and network security tools. A crucial topic covered in this section of the course was how to understand Domain Name System, or DNS, and how this vital component of the Internet's infrastructure functions to translate human-friendly domain names into IP addresses that computers use to communicate. Now, in the final part of the course, you are tasked with developing a comprehensive plan for secure data access and transmission in an organization. You will need to analyze data access points within an organization and consider various methods of securing data flow and storage. In conclusion, throughout this course, you've not only learned theoretical concepts, but have also applied these principles in practical settings, from securing passwords to enhancing network and cloud security. As you move forward, remember to revisit any topics as needed to reinforce your understanding and ensure you are prepared for the quiz. Good luck and congratulations again on reaching this important milestone in your learning journey. Congratulations! You've shown remarkable dedication and effort and made it to the end of the course. You've mastered crucial skills and concepts related to cybersecurity and privacy, demonstrating that you have what it takes to safeguard digital information in the field of your choice. By completing this course, you now have a good grasp of the fundamentals of data privacy and security, including the ins and outs of advanced password management strategies and privacy measures. But that's not all. You've also gained valuable insight into software privacy settings and password managers. And let's not forget about cybersecurity. You now know about the critical role of ports as well as their security risks, and the importance of network traffic types, characteristics, and analysis. Additionally, you learned about the importance of network segmentation to enhance traffic management and ensure security and privacy. You also learned about virtual private networks, how they work, and how they can enhance cybersecurity. Finally, your learning journey also covered computing environments. You are now well-versed in the differences between on-premises and cloud setups, and you are familiar with cloud services and server communication tools and technologies. Think about everything you can do with this newfound knowledge. By successfully completing all the courses in the program, you will receive a Coursera certification. The certification is recognized globally, so it enhances your credibility and marketability to potential employers. And it demonstrates your commitment to continuous learning and professional development. The certification can benefit you if you are seeking an entry-level position in IT, so well done on taking the first step towards your future career. Completing the program also serves as an essential stepping stone in your preparation for the Microsoft MS 900 exam. Passing this exam will earn you the Microsoft 365 Fundamental Certification. This certification demonstrates foundational knowledge of Microsoft 365 services, including cloud concepts, security, compliance, and collaboration tools. Achieving the Microsoft 365 Fundamental Certification validates your understanding of essential concepts in cloud-based productivity and collaboration solutions. To complete the exam, you should be able to recommend Microsoft 365 solutions that address common organizational IT challenges, and you should understand how Microsoft 365 solutions improve productivity, facilitate collaboration, optimize communications, help secure data, and facilitate compliance. In summary, this course has enhanced your knowledge and skills in cybersecurity and privacy and helped you prepare for the MS900 exam. But what comes next? While this marks the end of the course, it should not be the end of your learning journey. You can continue honing your skills and knowledge by registering for the next course. You've done a great job so far, and you should be proud of your progress. The experience you gained will show potential employers that you are motivated, capable, and not afraid to learn new things. Thank you for your hard work, and best of luck with the rest of your learning journey.